no matter how far. Couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever trusting who we are, and nothing else matters. Never opened myself this way. Life is ours, we live it our way. All these words I don't just say, and nothing else matters. Trust I seek and I find in you. Every day for us something new. Open mind for a different view, and nothing else matters. Never cared for what they do, never cared for what they know, but I know so close no matter how far. It couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever trusting who we are, and nothing else matters. Trust I seek and I find in you. Every day for something new, but I know trust I seek and I find in you. Every day for us something new. Open mind for a different view, and nothing else matters. Never cared for what they do, never cared for what they know, but I know so never open myself this way. Life is ours, we live it our way. All these words I don't just say, and nothing else matters. Trust I seek and I find in you. Every day for us something new. Open mind for a different view, and nothing else matters. Never cared for what they say, never cared for games they play, never cared for what they do, never cared for what they know, and I know, yeah, yeah, so close no matter how far. Couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever trusting who we are, though nothing else matters. Never opened myself this way. Life is ours, we live it our way. All these words I don't just say, and nothing else matters. No, nothing else matters.
He was born in the summer of his 27th year, coming home to a place he'd never been before. He left yesterday behind him. You might say he was born again. You might say he found a key for every door. When he first came to the mountains, his life was far away, on the road and hanging by a song. But the string
always places where we used to go, and I'll be there. Oh, how can I forget you? And there's always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. I was born to love you, and I will never be free. You'll always be a part of me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. If you should find you miss the sweet and tender love we used to share, just go back to the places where we used to go, and I'll be there. Oh, how can I forget you? And then there's always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. I was born to love you, and I will never be free. When there is always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. Just go back to the places where we used to go, and I'll be there. Oh, how can I forget you? And then there's always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. I remember my brother, his fate was so cruel. He saw things so different, ran it a fool. He never quit talking and followed me round, followed me swimming. I hope that he drowned. He found trouble often, each place we'd go, laughing and dancing, those same whispers would grow. He wasn't different, I was the worst friend. He didn't know.
Everything XboxEra does is only made possible by our community and the growing army of incredible Patreon supporters. Our executive producers and MVPs are an amazingly generous bunch, only shown up by the incredible support of our grand benefactors, Cryat56 and Assassin Entertainment. All of this under the watchful eye of our lovely XboxEra CEO, Torn Raptor. This community is the best one on the internet, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra and pledge your support. Hello friends, and welcome to episode 264 of the XboxEra podcast. We're here to discuss the latest in gaming from across that lovely video game industry. But overall, we're focused on your favourite platform, Xbox. We're fiercely independent and we're completely community driven, and we owe it all to you, the wonderful Patreon community. So big shout outs to all our MVPs, our executive producers, especially our grand benefactors. And I owe one an apology. Cryat56 and Assassin Entertainment, you guys are awesome. Kevin S, we definitely need to add your audio to that intro. So much love, brother. Apologies, we'll get that sorted. And of course, it would go without saying that we owe a lot. Technically, we actually owe serious amounts of money to this guy. We should probably sort something out. Torn Raptor, the CEO, big thank you to him. All of the crowdfunding we do at the moment is going towards our travel costs. We funded, thanks to you guys, we funded going to Summer Games Fest. Now we're looking at Gamescom.
Yeah, that little number down there actually has another 180 on it, mostly thanks to Torn Raptor. It was just before we started it.
I told you, we owe him lots. As always, though, and this is obviously the most important bit, right? He's going to nod his head in appreciation here. I'm joined by the one and only Special Nick.
What's going on?
And obviously Jesse's here as well.
The cheering's for Nick. We'll let it go.
Yeah. The
Gang's all here for a week.
Yeah, sorry, folks. I was really ill. And I'm not feeling great today either, so
and
apologies in advance if I'm low energy.
Joking that you're also gone next week.
I am also gone next week.
For site reasons. We've known about it for months.
Yeah, good reason. I'll be running a booth with my fellow booth babes down at UK Games Expo Birmingham NEC from Friday through to Sunday evening. If you're in town, and I know, I think Davey, one of our patrons, is definitely going to pop by and visit. Don't be shy if you're going and you're in the UK. Literally come up to me and say hello. Like, I will be pleased to see you.
Then the following weekend, we'll be in LA. So that show will be super late.
We'll be in LA. It's like,
we normally start at 5:30 US Eastern. We'll probably start around 9:30 or 10 because we're busy straight through Saturday from the.
So I get a nice sleep in.
You do,
yeah. You get a lay in.
You get like 5-6 extra hours of sleep. It's gonna be a super late show that day. Obviously, it's the prediction show for the showcase the next day, which we will be co-streaming. It might look terrible through StreamYard depending on how the hotel audio is, and I'll apologize ahead of time.
Is then cancelled out by being up at 2 a.m. the next day.
Yeah.
Thank
So
God
it's all balancing
a public holiday. It always falls on the King's birthday public holiday. It's so good. Thank God.
Yeah, you get a little day off the next day to recover. Glorious.
What do you mean?
Oh, no, I suppose it is the day.
Yeah, holiday. Yeah.
Sorry, I forget time zones are a thing.
I actually have a holiday coming up.
Plays that day.
I have a holiday on Monday.
Straight to the footy as soon as the podcast is done, basically.
Nice.
You get to run the whole site Monday, John, because it's Labor Day here, and I'll be at a cookout.
Yep, that's
or
fine.
Memorial Day, not Labor Day.
I am child-free most of the Monday, so it should be good. Lots to talk about this week, so buckle up because there's plenty, like genuinely plenty to dive into. But as always, before we do that sort of thing, we like to talk about the actual video games that we've had a chance, if God is willing, been able to wrangle with this week. And there's still so many games. Let's start with Nick. What have you been playing this week, Nick?
In terms of new, I decided to give a go to the Activision Retro Classics.
So it's
Endstream
old, but it's new.
Arcade. Yes, that Endstream Arcade partnered with Microsoft to put together a bespoke arcade collection as opposed to the Endstream Arcade collection, which is like how many hundreds of games?
1,300 plus.
Yeah, I had a look at the achievement list and I'm like, that feels doable. So I started having a crack and called my son in and said, because he was homesick all week. So I called my son in and said, come and have a look at what games looked like when Baba was a kid. And I was playing Pitfall, and he's like, "Oh my god, those graphics!" He's like, "Oh my god,
man!" Seeing Mech Warrior 2 in the advert, though, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's some memories." Although it's the rubbish PS version, I think, not the actual
PlayStation version. Okay.
You know what?
So,
this is a Trojan horse. You can't buy this Retro Classic collection. You can only play it via Game Pass.
On Game
Or sign up for Endstream Arcade.
If it isn't physical, 10% of the world aren't interested.
Yeah.
I'm teasing physical people. It's okay. I'm only playing. Promise.
I don't mind the package. I'm at first I was like, why is every game loading the way it is? And then I realized because it's cloud.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean,
are you impressed with it? Like considering it is cloud, like obviously there's a lot less data and image quality to send, but like I played around with Endstream Arcade when it first came out. And I was like, do you know what? For what it is, it's a surprisingly
bad.
neat way to just kind of dive in and relive a few memories and then come back out again, you know?
Yes, because the older games are much easier to run via cloud and keep the quality pretty much indistinguishable from native. Like I know I've played Banjo-Kazooie, the 360 arcade one. I've played that via cloud and you couldn't tell it wasn't native.
Yeah.
You just couldn't tell.
It's a
So
good
I
sign.
feel like at the moment that's cloud strength retro gaming, like 360 and probably earlier, or maybe even earlier than that, because Banjo's a very slow game. But yeah, I didn't mind the Retro Classics collection. I was just trying to do a few challenges, get the achievements, unlocked. They've got these cool little icons that you can use for your profile picture, not as in your
all the
actual
pixel art
Xbox
ones.
profile picture, but within the Retro Classics collection. So I got the
I
OG
thought-
Xbox, the 360.
I thought they were actual gamer pics that you could grab on the
I
system.
believe
You know,
so,
you
no.
can do that if you want. Literally just
Yeah, you could stick them on a USB stick.
take a picture of them, go to the PC
Yeah.
app, and then just set them. But yeah,
Yeah.
Can do it. So yeah, it's again, it's quote unquote free. Just part of your Game
included,
Pass
no extra
subscription.
cost.
Yeah,
And they're going to
it's
keep
part of
adding
your
to
Game
it.
Pass sub. Worth giving it a go just to see how it used to be in the old days. If you're a bit younger,
God, they're Willy Beamish.
but
Fuck that game.
I haven't looked. I haven't looked fully at the entire list of games though.
Yeah.
It's already over
there's a
60.
few-
They already added to it, I think.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, definitely worth it to give it a go. And if you want to get some easy achievements, it's good for that too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. Jesse, I
Super
think.
chat.
Oh,
Can I read the super
let's
chat?
do
from
that
Giselle?
instead.
Yep.
Yes, super chat from Giselle, who won last week for name again? Yeah,
for,
name again.
for me, my team, or for you?
For you,
Ursel.
for your team.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ursel.
Um,
Keeping it
It's a very close
real.
game. Nick, are all the characters already unlocked in the Capcom Fighting Collection? Have a good show, guys. I believe they are in the Capcom versus SNK games. I believe they are. Yes. I stand to be corrected there, but yes, I believe it is all unlocked. And like this, they are all the arcade versions of the games, unfortunately. But I believe everything's unlocked, yes.
Nice.
Okay.
Jesse, what have you been playing?
A lot.
Yeah.
I'll say now I can give final impressions on Roadcraft and Blades of Fire and other stuff I was reviewing. Roadcraft, for anyone who didn't know, it essentially takes that Mud Runner, Snow Runner style puzzle gameplay for whatever these I don't even know what you call them. It's pretty much a puzzle on how you get from point A to point B, and instead of making that the entire focus, it ends up being how do you rebuild areas so that you can guide computerized trucks through to deliver stuff is a big part of it. So super good, super fun. It's $40. It's okay as a like chill solo podcast game. It really shines in co-op where you can just get things done a hell of a lot faster because like you've got I need to use this crane to load into the back of this truck, and when it's me and my friend doing it, he can move the truck and I can move the crane instead of me hopping between the two nonstop.
God. Imagine, having to hop between each vehicle and control it all
You eventually get
separately.
pretty good at eyeballing. I'll park here, and I'll help move the crane here, and I'll be good. Like, but while you're learning that, it's a little frustrating. But it looks real nice, runs real well, has a lot of content in it, and is that fun ass Mud Runner type of game if you've ever played that, or Snow Runner. The other one, Blades of Fire, I was a lot less positive on, and I was matched pretty heavily by other reviewers. Where the game has some really cool ideas, it's just not fun to play. Whereas the ideas do not coalesce into something I enjoyed my time with. Like, it was an interesting story. I really like their engine. Mercury Steam's like bespoke own engine. It looks nice. It runs really well. The music's pretty good. The voice acting is okay, except for they repeat lines 1,000 times and it drives you insane. A real tough recommendation just now to give the final thoughts on that one.
Okay. You're not done though. There's more.
No, I know.
There's more, mate. Come on, queue them up, knock them out.
Look, I had 3 reviews this week. The last review was one of the best games released this year, in a game I want to play this music from, because god damn is it good. Monster Train 2, a surprise Game Pass launch. Fun story. If you're wondering how I had that Game Pass thumbnail, even though the review was up an hour after it went live, I didn't have to bother Predrag. I had messed up and said, hey, Predrag, I need a Monster Train 2 thumbnail with the Game Pass logo. Completely forgetting it wasn't announced for Game Pass. And then the day it was coming out, they said, by the way, it's coming to Game Pass. So I had that thumbnail.
That's awesome.
Monster Train 2 is phenomenal. It's a classic deck building roguelike. Like, it's gotten an 87 on OpenCritic. It's just really good. Has music like this that's just the entire time you're playing. Everything about this game's really fun. Super well
I know you've
balanced.
been on at me to give this one. You were on at me about the first one, and I haven't.
This one,
would you say it's a prerequisite to play the first? Or?
Not at all.
Okay, good.
The story is essentially they went to try and stop Heaven, and they messed up, and now Heaven's taken over Hell. And they're beating up Heaven. There's a Balatro crossover, which is why I keep giving it to you on the Discord. Because
I will put this one on my ROG Ally for the train.
I got a Gross Michelle, and I turned it into a Cavendish, and my God, was it powerful and helped my run. Like that type of, it's a smart crossover. It's just a really good game. You got 3 levels. Each level, you're trying to stop enemies from coming in and making it up to the 4th level. You can't set anyone there, but the enemies are going there. That's where your pyre, aka your heart, is. That thing that's on the top left of the screen. The health that hits 0, your run ends. So everything you're doing is trying to stop enemies from being able to make it to the top. Kill them in time. There's a number of waves. At the last wave, a boss comes out, and then it's just a non-stop fight to the death.
Interesting.
It's really smartly treadmilled. Like, as one of those games, it feels tough but fair, in the best ways that you were always hoping for. Because Slay the Spire is insanely difficult as you go up the difficulty ladders, but it gives you that nice ramp where it's like early on you are constantly getting new cards and artifact unlocks, and they do the same thing here. So you feel stronger even if you're not finishing a run. But if you hop down to the lower levels, like, you can blast through it after you've upgraded a bit, and just gain a bunch of experience, because there's 5 different clans that you play as, and they all have different synergies with each other in the way they work, because every run is a main clan and a side clan, like an assisting clan that you get some of their assisting cards and units and stuff. It's great. It's amazing for handhelds. It's great on cloud. Like, no matter, being a Play Anywhere on Game Pass right from the start, and just instantly got it. It was on my I was playing it on my Steam Deck for 2 months along with the computer, because I had the preview code on Steam from 2 months ago that never stopped working, even though they said it was going to. And they just, like, about 3 weeks ago, it was the full game. But I just completely restarted from scratch on Xbox again because it's so good. So very highly recommend Monster Train. And the music's fantastic. And now, the second to last thing.
Yeah, super chat from Sherez. Just a quick 1 minute mini review, Jesse, of Tainted HGA.
Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon.
Yeah, so funnily enough, I did Tainted Grail Conquest as a review, which was a deck building roguelike. The whole Tainted Grail series of games. I've put roughly 30 hours into this Oblivion-y soul or Skyrim-like, except for it's running on, and also runs like shit on Xbox. I don't know if they fixed that or yet. Not fixed that or not yet. But it just has PC settings on Xbox. You can choose, I want to go for quality, or I want to go for 30 or 60 as a target, and then I want to choose you choose your friggin' resolution, 4K, 1440p. Like, it's one of those weird ones. I
think more games should do that, to be honest.
Well, no, because it didn't feel great at anything. Like, I put it at 1440p in lower settings, and it still didn't feel or run great. But they've had a lot of things where they said, we're going to fix that. So hopefully they have since I played it. I played like 25, 30 hours. It is incredibly impressive for the team size. It's super incredibly dour, bleak Arthurian legend where it's like 600 years after the Round Table has moved to Avalon and fought off the weirdness and WYRD weirdness.
Okay.
Cool story. Great music. Fun build variety. Like you got the full on, you can dual wield magic or have magic in one hand, a dagger in the other. Like do stealth, do your tank builds, do all that type of shit. Really impressive for what they've done. I wouldn't probably be as high as some of the reviews I've seen out there that are like it's an 84 on OpenCritic. My mind was more like in the 7s range. Like it's very impressive for what they've done. It's only $42 right now or something like that. I think it was cheaper before it launched. I don't remember. Impressive. Ugly, breaks a lot, but it's that nice Euro jank where everything comes together in a way that is legitimately cool. Lots of choices to make. Like I end up fighting Galahad and tried it like 70 times before I finally killed him. Lots of jumping into menus to do stuff. The game's also unbelievably difficult on default. So I had to grind a lot to feel strong at all and to level up. But if you're looking for that, like this game...
That was the wrong time for that dude to drink a potion. I'm just watching the footage. He's like, hold on a minute.
Yeah,
because he killed me.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, wait, don't swing. I'm just drinking.
My character is
Jared
Leto's Joker. Yeah, it is a group of guys who really liked older Bethesda titles like Oblivion and Skyrim, and that used to be a thing. When you would loot someone, all their gear would come off.
Get naked.
Yeah, and so that's just a
wow
brute forcing it into Unity because Unity is not built for this type of game. And they've done a very smart job of making something that's not great, but also feels special. And I think a lot of people are really latching onto that. Like, yeah, it doesn't look great. The textures aren't amazing. The voice acting's okay. The writing's decent. It's a really cool premise. The music's legitimately very good. Like, it's weird and creepy. I know Irish people are mad because there's a lot of like Celtic and Irish names on characters and stuff, and it really doesn't. Then they all just have like English accents. But I'm pretty sure it's Polish devs, and a lot of that type of stuff ends up being a little tougher to do. It's a very long game. It's like 60, 70 hours if you want to get through it generally. After 25, I knew I had no chance of doing it by embargo time, and then it's just we're pretty balls out nonstop until through going to LA. So not going to do a full review of it, but like if you are looking for this type of game, it's an easy recommendation, I think.
Fair. Now it's interesting. We've both had I think you've probably played more because I know you streamed, but we both had a little go on this this last one, which
is free.
Is Deliver at All Costs, which is free on Epic Game Store. On PC.
Is it?
Yeah, for launch.
Not sure what you think about this.
It's really fun gameplay mixed with just awful everything else.
I'm kind of like, so the premise for folks that may be wondering is you are like kind of you're down on your luck guy and you see a job ad for a delivery company that's literally deliver at all costs and they get you to deliver things that blow up and cause carnage and you can damage your vehicle and you have to try and get there and deliver it. That's the premise. And it's like, it's kind of got a GTA, old school GTA vibe. It's like isometric-esque kind of at an angle. The thing that really threw me, and I've only played like, I don't know, like an hour, if that. As I literally had a quick go. I grabbed it and just had a go. There's so much loading screens between areas that I was really surprised, and it felt so like you'll drive through a little part of town and you'll go a black screen, and we're back in. And I was running this on my NVMe drive.
Yeah,
so
no,
I was
it's
like,
not fast.
It should be
really weird technically.
Yeah, I don't get why it does.
And it's actual. They keep saying it's real voice actors, but somehow those voice actors really sound like AI a lot of the times. The main voice actors don't, but a lot of the NPCs who yell at you because they'll get pretty pissed when you're like delivering fireworks that are blowing up on them, and then they'll try and chase you down. It's a weird weird game. It's really
I'm
fun.
not sure about it yet.
Especially for free, it's not bad. But it is a game of try to get from point A to point B without things breaking. And if like that constant loop is a little annoying, I hate it when it's essentially almost like an escort mission.
Yes.
It's escort mission the game, because like in this you've got the watermelons and you got to back up, you push them in, and then they can go there. It's all physics based. Like it's a very physics heavy game, and so the watermelons are in the back, and as you're moving around they bounce out, and so you're losing them and you're trying to, but it's pretty generous on fail conditions. So it's like they give you 60 and then you have to only have 20 by the end, but also there's a checkpoint in the middle where, because these are rotten, gross watermelons, and so you take them to get a chemical bath to get rid of the smell, and then you take them to a paint shop to get painted green, and then you bring them right back to the lady who didn't want them the first time. It's funny and it's fun.
This isn't the weirdest game for Konami to publish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's published by Konami. It's very peculiar. Like, aren't they doing that cool-looking octopus platformer that I want to review later
octopus
this year?
game, yeah,
that looks really
great.
great. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm glad to see Konami like publishing more games.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's odd.
Mm-hmm. Also,
it's really quirky.
Did not give it to us for review. I never heard from them. I kept trying to get in contact with them, but here's the loading. They're not very big levels. It's weird. I get why it's like in the low 70s, because while the gameplay is really fun and I like the premise a lot, there's so much technically and stuff around the sides that kind of either just feels weird or time waste. Either there's long cutscenes with bad jokes, and
they let you skip them.
Yeah, but go Nick. Just skip it.
You click the right thumbstick and you can hold it to skip the whole cutscene, or if you're having conversation, you can click.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
nice.
Who chose that button?
I know.
Like,
it's a weird.
I want to call this out in the chat, actually. Two things. NRX6 says, Jesse is my most trusted voice in gaming because of, and I have to agree with this, like out of all of us, Jesse plays the most genres across the most platforms, really. But NRX6 says, because he games across all genres and budgets whilst looking at things fairly with an informed perspective, this mini review testifies to that. He was referring to your comments on
I almost thought about doing a YouTube short review, but I didn't want to score it for Tainted Grail. I didn't finish it, so but I also didn't finish Blades of Fire. But Blades of Fire does not change. Like I saw everything that game had except for the end of the story, because I wasn't enjoying it and I couldn't do it anymore.
But yeah, outside of that, I've been playing a couple of things. I've just wrapped and prepared my review of To a T.
That's all I can say.
Which is dropping on Xbox Game Pass on May 28th.
What games aren't dropping on Game Pass?
When are things not dropping on Game Pass? That's a very good very good statement. I've been playing a little bit more of Bionic Bay, which Nick, I think you would really jam with that game. Yeah, it's on PlayStation, right? Like,
yeah, it's PlayStation PC.
Yeah, you would like that a lot. You would
not
really
on
like
Xbox.
it.
And
it's
no
like
one
when
got
you get
furious.
into the zen flow of like making it through crazy obstacles in a speedy way. It feels really, really good. But also, and I'm kind of bummed that I haven't been able to play more of it because it all broke. And it's typical because it's my next review. Splitgate II is in open beta starting on May 22nd.
For the first 2 days of the beta, it wasn't even working.
I got in about 2 hours of games, and the only way it was able to work was I had to disable crossplay. It wouldn't work at all on console for me. I had to switch over to PC. I just wanted to get some hands-on experience. Like, the review will be on Xbox. I have to say, though, playing on PC, playing with my Nacon controller. Do you say Nason or Necon?
I say Nacon.
Nacon.
Yeah. So playing with my Nacon controller, I scripted these buttons to be my Portal buttons. So these are because I can assign them as a keyboard, which really helps because there's so many extra things compared to something like Halo. But this is the beauty of it, right? I loaded in and I'm like, okay, it took me a while to get the feel. They didn't have any control scheme set up. So I switched it all over to Bumper Jumper, remapped it. And against PC players, I was destroying. It was just Halo muscle memory, man. Like, I was like, well, okay, I'm definitely not playing against console players because I'm playing on PC and crossplay is disabled. I was absolutely wrecking. So Halo fans will probably find something to really, really like here. They also have at launch SWAT, and they call it SWAT. Nick.
Nice.
So there's a ton of game modes. They've added a big 4v4v4 match. Like I think it's called Onslaught or something like that, and it's like multi-team 4v4s. And there's like strongholds, and there's all the kind of Halo things, but it's all got the portals on. And big team battle becomes very different when you can ping a portal across the map and then just hop the fuck in. So initial impressions are quite positive, but the guns, they all feel kind of like they haven't got much oomph to them to me. And the melee connection is a little, I don't know. Granted, they've been having tons and tons of server issues. They were down for most of the last 2 days, as Nick said. I think they tried to bring them up limited earlier. They went back down again. So I'm going to get as much time in as I can over the next week. So pretty much every evening this week ahead before the UK Games Expo. So I will try and have my review out relatively soon. But it will be post actual launch. So
our reviews, boy, we
We'll
do
see.
a lot. We do a lot of reviews.
there's so much, man. There's so much.
Yeah,
There's so
I've
many
got
games.
I'm working on Spray Paint Simulator, which is coming to Game Pass next week. Hoping to get Space Marine before I leave for LA, because that preload is up, which generally means it's there and they can give it to you if they want. And then, of course, all my time before going to LA is mostly just going to be when the Division 2 hits next Tuesday, the Battle for Brooklyn, with the base game now in Game Pass.
I
at
will
that
be
day.
downloading the Division 2. But
I
it's
will
like
ask for
it
an extra
comes down
copy.
to it, like when I can't devote time to massive, grindy, levely, big games. I just can't.
They
It's just
give you
impossible.
a level 30 character, so it's up to level 40. But if you just want to hop into the new thing and have a higher level character,
I want to play it all.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I roll. Oh, it's a pain.
and I would say you don't want to
But
play with
look-
me because my character's in like the second highest difficulty, so you would die
70s.
immediately.
Oh man, but yes, we've been playing a lot of games. It's been great. Aren't we all feasting?
Mhm.
Before we jump into all of the news, a quick bit of housekeeping for everybody. Hit that like button. You know, just don't think about it. Just hit it. Just
You know
smash
what-
your thumb down on it. Just lean across nonchalantly and
You know what else you
Press
can
it.
do? We're on Twitch.
leave a review.
If you've got Amazon Prime, that means you have a Twitch Prime every month, and you can go over to twitch.tv/the XboxEra, choose sub, and then choose elevate your sub, and then you can use the Twitch Prime. They make it a little harder because it's included in your subscription for you, and we get like $4. So thank you.
We like that. Do you know what else you could do?
Hmm.
And I really want to do this. I want to see this happen because we have thousands and thousands of listeners every week, right? And I'm not blowing smoke up our own butt cracks for that. That is factually accurate. We see the stats. We're the top 5% of video podcasts on Spotify. We're in that top 5% bracket. I want to see more reviews. Like, do us a solid. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, seriously, when you finish this episode, if you're driving in your car right now, you're listening to the audio version later on and not watching it live on YouTube. If you are watching it live right now, when it's up tomorrow, just log on and just give us a little review. Give us your honest thoughts. There's one guy, and he knows who he is. I'm going to presume it's a he, because mostly he sounds like one. Constantly leaves horrible, disparaging comments. And I'm like, are you just logging on? And there are these people that just hate listen. Just hate listen. Don't be one of those. Go leave us a review. Say something nice. You know, comment on Nick. Nick's here. He's pretty to look at. Just say that.
I
Nick
do
is
get
sure pretty to look
comments.
at.
I do get comments on me. I see comments on me all the time. Not good ones.
Yeah. Well. You're like Mum.
Oh, Nick's always reminding people about how he's right. Well, yeah, man. Because I'm always having people telling me how fucking wrong I am. So I've got to counterbalance that shit somehow.
With Starforge's Oliver Darko will be listening as per usual, waiting us to say something crazy that we've said like hundreds of times before, and then he won't tag us on Twitter, but he'll create a little bit of engagement bait.
The other day there was a clip about what we were saying in relation to PlayStation games coming to Xbox, and we were like, "Yeah, no, it's not going to happen." And I'm like, "So what was your gotcha?" Like we said, like. The way you framed your tweet was like we were saying PlayStation games are coming to Xbox. So all the comments were like, these guys are delusional. It's like, but we said they're not going to come to Xbox. Like, what's your gotcha? What were you fucking achieving here?
Man, I feel like, I feel like the people that comment on like these brief extracts of our shows, like you can tell that they've never watched a second because like, I don't like everyone has a wild take every now and then, but I actually consider the three of us mostly to be pretty reasonable and like, yeah, because we're not into the whole console wars element of things. That could be such a good segue. I don't know which ad break is it. I don't know. Let's do it.
Everyone I want.
Yeah, let's do it.
This is Console Wars, the card game. Featuring more famous video games than you can shake a stick at, Console Wars finally allows you to win a war you've been fighting and probably losing on the internet your entire life. Quit being a keyboard warrior with the warm embrace of anonymity to protect you. Now you and your friends can fight on the front lines, battling for incredible franchises, exclusivity, and eventual victory. Collect some of the most famous video game franchises of all time. Protect them with loyal and frighteningly dedicated fans. Brave the volatile video game industry and claim the ultimate victory in the console wars. Your favorite video game making mega corporation needs you. Enlist today. Head to consolewarsgame.com. Pick up a copy of Console Wars the card game, outshine your rivals, and prove that your platform reigns supreme. Out now.
And that's right, that's Console Wars the card game. It's available right now on Amazon.co.uk and in Amazon.com. And you can get it across Europe, North America. So go nuts, have fun. We appreciate your support. And if you're in the UK, head over to UK Games Expo this weekend, so next weekend. To come check it out and say hello to me in person. That's how I will probably kick your ass at the game. Anyway, now it's time for the news. This is my best news voice as we dive across the best news of the industry, or something like that. I'm trying to get more energetic.
You need yourself some reverb. It's the news.
The news. It's just any time I put on that kind of voice, it's just Matt Berry. But there's loads to talk about this week. There's an insane amount of crazy news. So we're going to try and dive into most of it. If folks have specific questions, we've got some questions for the community that have been noted here in the show notes because Jesse is incredible. But if community chat, if you guys want to chuck a super chat, if you have something to say, we will be paying attention. So please do feel free to interrupt.
Give us all your
stay on
money.
topic. Stay on topic. Don't send a super chat for a subject we wrapped 8 minutes ago. Right? That's not helpful.
Well,
that just makes us have to.
You know what we need to do?
Yeah.
What everyone else does, send your super chats, whatever you want to talk about, and then we have a super chat segment at the end of the show. That's what Game Mess Decides does. That's what Kind of Funny does. They just aggregate them all. Now, if one is perfectly on topic,
that doesn't feel like a conversation.
When they're on topic, they do them. But if they're not, and it's something somebody wants to talk about, or if it's correcting something, you just do it then. We will always get to them. They just might not be right away if they're not on topic.
Unless your name's good old Collingwood, we won't read your questions.
No.
You know why.
Yeah, Nick.
You know what you've done. Okay. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm singing a bit of Boney M.
Oh, God.
Boney M?
Yeah. I only know that one song, really, but yeah.
What? Rasputin?
Yeah.
Rah, Rasputin.
Have you heard the really good remix version with the cool cartoon? Yeah. Like with the shoes. It's like my favorite version. It's in Beat Saber as well. Have you seen it? Not the new single that remixed it like a couple of years back. There's like a double tempoed dum, 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 and it's really, really fast. And it's got a cartoon of some Russian scientists trying to invent the ultimate funky shoe. and they first put it on a robot, and the robot can't do it, and they put it on like this really massive dude, and he can't do it, and then Vladimir Putin turns up, and he rips off his shirt, and he can handle the funk. It's a really, really funny video. Worth a watch. It's a really good song, like version of it. But we have got a, before we even dive into the news, Abdul114, a member for 6 months, congratulations, has something to say, Nick.
Abdul114, my biggest fan, even though he doesn't like arrogant people. I'm here to derail the show. Special Nick, the best timestamper in the industry, mate, by a mile. Let's make him a full-timer ASAP. Any 360 recommendations that aren't BC? X-Men Origins Wolverine and Virtua Tennis 3.
Look at that. Straight off, he knows what he wants in that BC program that isn't there. You've always mentioned Wolverine or
X-Men Origins Wolverine, the best God of War clone. That and Dante's Inferno. Dante's Inferno is also a very good video game. But X-Men Origins Wolverine, man. Ooh, boy.
Good choice. Good choice. Thanks, Abdul. All right. Let's start things off with Circana's April report. Nutshell. Good Lord. Xbox ranked with 5 of the top 7 selling games for April of 2025. On pretty clear indication that their multi-platform strategy, as far as Microsoft are concerned, is doing what they wanted it to do, which is sell loads of video games and make loads.
Kill the console?
That's the other part, right? We discussed this a little bit on headlines, but I'm curious on your take, Nick, because Jesse and I, we get to chat news fairly regularly. But let me give you some headlines from this, right? So we had the Oblivion remaster, right, which was a surprise drop. Wasn't really a surprise, but the intent for it to be a surprise drop was there. It sold more than the original in 1 month versus 15 months for the original game.
It wasn't even a month. It was how many?
3 weeks.
A week.
2 weeks.
No, it was only out for a week of or 10 days of April.
It was the 3rd best-selling game of the year behind Monster Hunter Wilds and Assassin's Creed Shadows. Forza Horizon 5 was the 2nd best-selling game of the month, coming all the way up from number 42 to number 2 because of the PlayStation 5 release. COD was most played on Xbox, then PlayStation, then PC. And Xbox hardware actually rose.
COD was most played on Xbox.
Yeah.
Was it really?
In the US.
Yeah, these are US numbers.
In the US, let's be clear. So you've got all of this stuff, but you pipe straight in. Yes, they're making loads of money at the cost of the death of the console. You still feel that that's a dead cert?
Yep. We'll get one more. We'll get our handheld. That next generation. We'll get our Xboxes next generation, and that'll be it.
That'll be it. Over.
That'll be it.
Finito.
So enjoy it. Enjoy that next Xbox, people, because it's going to be the last one.
Oh dear. Indiana Jones did well as well. I think it rose.
They weren't all suffering motion sickness on PlayStation 5.
It's funny actually. There's a little super chat from Sherez who literally beat you to that joke in real time.
Yeah, sure is. I thought Indie causes motion sickness. Not on PS5. No, apparently not now. All good.
Yeah.
Indie doesn't need to be third person anymore.
I don't know. I think there's plenty of people and I feel sorry for the people that do genuinely get motion sickness.
For the handful of people that actually do, that would suck.
Yeah. But I
for
find
the other
FOV
500,000 or so on Resetera that all suddenly suffer motion sickness.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a hell of a month.
There was one last stat, which was the most surprising.
Which was?
Xbox
consoles were up.
Yeah, they were up 8% year over year. 8%.
Eight. I thought it was 6.
That was interesting.
Now they were up over being down a ton, but it was still up, and it was before because there was no gap between our prices are going to go up at this point. It was just our prices have gone up. So there was no rush to buy stuff.
Prices are going up in 10 days. Go out and buy now. It was just the prices are now this.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I am still in the camp, and I said this on headlines, and it is frustrating. And I feel for all fans of the platform in that it's kind of just like, there's this rumor. We had the piece from Jez saying, oh, they're talking to Steam about being on the next platform. We had other bits and pieces. We've got all of these like little seeds of like, yeah, they might be doing, and this might be happening, but it's all, piecemeal from different sources and a lot of conjecture mixed in. And it's like, I just wish they were at a point where they could just be clear and transparent and just say, right? Because I'd argue that they keep doing so many game releases that I thought they would constantly dominate the conversation. But thankfully, it's the games that are actually doing the talking for the most part lately, because Game Pass has just been insane.
Not if they're in the 70s. Then the shit. Then the shit.
God, I hate scores. But yeah, like I do wish that they could just tell us, here's the plan, people. Make your plans accordingly, but we just have to sort of wait for them to be ready. So it is a thing. Speaking of Game Pass, though, God, like
I wasn't expecting that much around Doom.
No. Mad. Like so many games. I mean, what did they add this week? Or this drop, I should say.
Let me get the image up. So the big one that everyone was super excited about is Metaphor Refantasio, as Phil Spencer says. Here's the image. Boop. So yeah, Metaphor Refantasio coming later this month. The Division 2 coming the day that its expansion comes out. Tales of Kenzera Zao's out now. To a T next week. Monster Train 2 that day. Spray Paint Simulator next week. I think Crypt Custodian and Symphonia both next week. Both like well-reviewed games. There was also originally Hellblade 2 as coming to standard. That was a mistake. They are putting Creatures of Eva and Stalker 2 into standard, though. So,
okay.
Yeah, but just for how much has already been going in, like Metaphor, incredibly highly rated. The Division 2 is amazing. Zao is really good. 2 we'll see. Monster Train 2, amazing. Spray Paint, we'll see. Crypt Custodian, very good. Symphonia, very good. I really like Creatures of Eva. And I think Stalker 2 is excellent now after all the patching they've done. It was good at launch. It was broken.
It was good, but kind of broken. Yeah. Well,
still fun though.
It's a crazy amount of games to add to the service. And I wanted to use
there's
this.
There's so much coming in June.
Well, here's the thing, right? There's a couple of points I want to make with this, and I'm curious on you two's take on this and on the chat's take on this as well. I've just sent you a link, Jesse. I don't know if you can pull this trailer up. Xbox Game Pass posted this kind of new Game Pass ad. I certainly hadn't seen it before. Maybe I'm wrong, but they posted it on May 23rd, so yesterday. And if you get to, I think around halfway through, 35 seconds in, they talk about like, hey, the biggest blockbusters and blah, 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 blah. And then they say, and the biggest surprises. And here is just like a little bit of conjecture, right? If you've noticed, there's been shadow drops happening more and more often. Like, bear in mind, we are a week and a bit out from their big showcase of the year. Here's the statement for the platform for the next 6 to 12 months, right? And yet, they've given us Oblivion. That could have been a shadow drop at that show. They've given us these insane Game Pass drops. We've had... Right? Like, they've given us super duper new controllers and all, like, if they have just casually doing all of this
controller,
right? They're just doing this
straight the fucking way.
Yeah.
Go on. Tell me, Nick, how big of a fan are you of The Witcher 3?
I've never played it.
I did that knowing you don't answer that way.
I like the look of that controller.
I adored The Witcher. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Witcher 3.
But my point of this is that the more I think about that line, the best surprises is I'm actually repositioning it in my head. They are repositioning it as a subscription service because look at what happened with Oblivion. It's out. It's out now on Game Pass. You can just download it and play it. You don't have to suddenly think about spending $40, $50 mid-month.
So many did.
A drop. So many did. I know.
But you don't have to.
But the more and more they're like, hey, this is here now. And it's just there. And it's a surprise. People ask why they would shadow drop. I think to increase that
How
this is
good
now on
Game
Netflix.
Pass?
Feel that
How good
subscription
is Game
feel.
Pass type thing?
Yep. I had that conversation. My brother-in-law called me earlier today, and he was like, "Hey, me and my wife, we want to just get what would be the best console. I just want to get it. I want to play Madden, and I want to play Mortal Kombat."
So you
I
said
just,
PlayStation 5, right?
so, but he literally said, "But I just like, what's the one where I can just get a subscription like Netflix or HBO, and I can just play those games?" And I was like, "Well, the latest Madden and college football are in Game Pass Ultimate, and Mortal Kombat 11's there. Like everything you want, everything you need." As the type of player he is right there. And if they can just, there's felt like there's more penetration on that, especially with Doom and Oblivion. Those two hit deeper into gaming in people like, this shit's just on Game Pass. Like I saw that a million times around Doom with people who never play on Xbox. They're just PC players. And they're like, yeah, I'm just playing it on Game Pass.
And I don't know if I should even say this, but like you look at how many games come to Game Pass, especially out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You guys don't realize how many deals they work on for Game Pass that a lot don't go through.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of games that if you knew they were trying to get it into Game Pass, you'd be like, oh shit. And that's a lot of them don't go through for whatever reason, like all different reasons, whether it's monetary or whatever. But mate, there's a lot of games they go for Game Pass that don't get on.
Lucius Augustus has just dropped Super Chat that's actually made the point I was kind of trying to make far more eloquently than I actually made it.
Lucius Augustus, it makes it harder to drop your Game Pass sub when you never know when a Game Pass game will drop. The turnover rate will go down using these tactics. Yeah,
I think that's exactly kind of what I was trying to say. So thank you, Lucius. Like it is a deliberate, it's almost a different form of FOMO. Like, oh shit, it's out now. Oh, I can just, and you go and you just jump in and having a sub where these surprises are just a perk, keep you interested month on month.
The thing we've heard before a lot with them is they don't want people to feel overwhelmed by choice paralysis. And I do feel like spreading things out and having different hits all the time. And it's not just like, all right, this is everything that's coming to this thing for the rest of the month, like you get with a PlayStation Plus, which a lot of us are fine with. We know, okay, I know that's something I want to play, but it is, it hits my kid. Because he's always like, I really like Game Pass, but I don't. What am I going to play now? And that coming soon and the new and the things that hit routinely instead, like it just can happen at any time. And you're like, oh shit, yeah, I wanted to play this one. Cool. It's been a big thing for getting him to just try different stuff, as well as fooling around on his phone with the games that have like touch controls and stuff and cloud.
And it is a good retention tactic, but if only they had good marketing for casuals too.
I honestly, if I spot any Xbox people, if we spot any Xbox people in LA, we will have that conversation. Like if I see like a marketing lead, I'll be like, "Yo, can you guys
which
think
casual
about this?"
audience? Because they've talked before, like if you're a casual that doesn't buy things very often, it's not a good deal.
For you.
Yeah. So I do think they really heavily target people who are interested in gaming just in general. So they do a ton. Like if you don't have YouTube Premium and you have any type of, I pay attention to video games in your algorithm, they're going to feed you a lot of Game Pass ads. Same thing on Twitch. Like if you're watching people on YouTube or Twitch, it's there all the time. They do marketing through Keymailer and others where,
Sorry.
Like you can be on Keymailer every month and you can get Game Pass for PC for free. Like just PC Game Pass is right there as a thing you can sign up for. And I know a lot of streamers that do that, and you just put hashtag PC Game Pass and say, I got this game through Game Pass when you're going to stream something. So it's a lot of that less corporate feeling marketing stuff from them on it. So
more super chats. On this
Machine
topic.
XP. There's a PlayStation subreddit with people talking about how great Game Pass is compared to PS Plus, and someone is like, wait, Doom is on Game Pass?
It's a beautiful world.
Sherez, Mohammed Sherez. Is like the argument just he always makes, where Xbox has a base of people willing to spend more money in the ecosystem, even with lower console sales. I mean, we've always said that. I know Xbox users are high spend. If only they could get more of them.
Yeah, I would also add to that though that Microsoft's new approach of publishing, like someone mentioned it earlier in the chat. We had the Ninja Gaiden 2 Black Shadow Drop. Surprise! Game Pass, great. But then it was like, here's Ninja Gaiden 4. It's being published by Microsoft, but it's coming out on everything. And that is where, like, yeah, we're publishing it. So we're funding the game. That means we get to put it on Game Pass. Great. We're funding your game. So you've already had your money and we're funding it. So it doesn't cost them anything. You know, I don't know what the economics are for that. But they're also releasing it everywhere else anyway. But then the conversation for those titles always is, do I want to spend $70, $80 now? Or do I want to spend this over the course of a year and have all of it for free as part of your subscription, I should say.
And thank you, Lucius Augustus, for the Twitch Prime.
Appreciate it. There was a glitch in the system earlier where you could stock up on like EA Play at a cheaper price for 36 months and then convert it and get 36 months of Game Pass up on it for like much less. But I don't know if they've closed it yet. Just heads up. I think Windows Central and Eurogamer reported on it, so go take a look, check it out. So yeah, like I look at this new ad and it just made me think of all these different kind of new ways of doing things in this industry that perhaps, you know, could be looked at slightly differently lens-wise when people ask about like, hey, what do they do? Oh my God.
Jesus.
You can tell he's a grand benefactor. That sexy.
I mean, you can't tell that if you just listen to the beginning of the show, John.
No, it says his name. Sorry.
Grand benefactor, Kevin S. Have you guys heard anything about review copies of Mind's Eye? The game is set to come out in 3 weeks and marketing seems dead. Any thoughts on it? Also, sorry if you talked about this, just joining in.
We have not. I have been chasing it for John. He wanted to check it out. The previews are terrible. We did not get into those.
Allegedly, it's not in great shape.
Yeah, like it looks pretty rough.
It looks like a 2006 jank game that I want to just jank up.
Visually, it looks nice.
It looks all right. Like, it looks all right.
I mean, Leslie Benzies is finding out what happens when you don't have Rockstar's unlimited budget and resources.
I always thought like I know that he's one of the original creators of GTA, right?
This is so dark.
Can't see shit. But like, I did not know his name. Like, what's the other guy that everyone knows his
Dan
name?
Houser.
GTA?
Dan Houser.
Thank you. Right. Like, if I'd seen that, I would have been like, oh. But, you know, Leslie Benzies, Mind's Eye. I was like, who the fuck is Leslie? Like, I don't know who this guy is. Why is that an advertising point?
Yeah, I like Laszlo.
But yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to get on the review list for it, but it's also coming out at a time where John would probably have no chance to do it now because we're going to be in LA. So
yeah.
It's almost like it makes a big difference when you have an unlimited budget and unlimited time and unlimited resources, doesn't it?
They don't have unlimited time. They have a very high budget. But the actual making of GTA is probably going to be like 6 years at the end, 5 to 6 years. But it was the same thing.
Unlimited time. That's a separate thing. If Rockstar turned around and said we need this to come out in 2027, guess what? It's coming out in 2027. And they have unlimited time.
Take-Two would not be happy.
They wouldn't. But what the fuck are they going to do about it?
Not be happy.
They're not going to do anything about it. It'll come out in 2027.
I will say, looking at this footage, like it, I think this is just going to, and I think they've made it as a point of advertisement for it, is that like we're making the case for a 12 to 15 hour single player one and done action adventure game, and I'm like, yeah, that's why I'd probably be interested in giving that a shot. Actually, like, why not?
It looks visually, it looks nice.
It looks fun.
It looks all right.
Like, I want to give it a shot. I do want to give it a shot.
No idea how it plays.
Yeah, if anybody ever wants to actually respond to any of my emails when I ask if we can get on the review list for this, please do. Yeah. Thanks.
I do genuinely want to give it a try. And if it is a 12 to 15 hour, that's a couple of nights, and I can smash that out. I believe.
That's like 6 months for me.
So yeah,
I still haven't beat Doom. I think I'm up to chapter 21 out of 22.
Completed Doom.
Beat Doom. Oh, you like it now, do you?
Yes.
Fucking like it now.
Yep. It clicked. I had to up the difficulty a bit. And
I would say ultra violence
with some settings.
Funnily enough, they've made it tougher by default. They patched it, to make it a little tougher. Now Nick wouldn't know because he's playing on baby mode, which I found incredibly boring. But
easy for the win.
I would still say ultra violence is like your best ramp into really having to focus and use all your tool set all the time, even now.
I did see a video that I think was doing the rounds in our Discord. I can't remember who it was from, but it was like
one of the $45,000 a month Patreons. They make 42,000 every month.
Yeah, they said that the designers of Doom think you're dumb, and they talk about how like here's a glowing green guy stuck in a wall. Like that's the only place you can use your shield. There's no mental arithmetic to figuring stuff out. And everything is just easily signposted, and the keys are like, here's the key. And I'm like,
and the game's too easy. And then he also played it on the second easiest difficulty.
So I don't know, like I dislike, I know it, like it's a critic's job, but like I hate that kind of like they think you're dumb. How do you know that? Like you don't.
Well, and plus
that.
also it's too easy, but there's easy, a little less easy, and then 4 more difficulties above that, and you only play it on a little less easy, and you say the game's too easy, and it's like, well, that's why they're there. You can just change it. You don't have to.
But I will say, Nick. I changed my tune, bro. Like, I think I was still on like level 9 or 10 when I was last on, and I spoke about it, and I was like, it's not clicks, but when you unlock the majority of everything, and you suddenly get into that flow of like throw, ping, parry, and then you're switching, and like you're doing all this crazy. And I'm like,
it gets insanely fast once your shield's upgraded and stuff, and you can constantly use it to fly around.
The story, I actually really enjoyed the twist. No spoilers, won't spoil it for those that are still some way through it. But you're at the point, Nick, where you know the twist, and I was like, oh, that's cool. The twist. Oh wait, you didn't skip the. You didn't skip.
I've been skipping all the cutscenes.
Of course, he has no idea what you're talking about. We can't make it any more clear.
I watched half of one cutscene where he found that woman with the tentacles.
They're like 20 seconds long.
He found that woman with the tentacles, and then I just started skipping it and don't know what happened after that.
You missed the coolest twist.
Did I?
Yeah. Can you do me a favor? Do me a favor, Jesse, using magic. Can you mute our output so I can tell him the twist without spoiling it on the show?
You are now muted. Well, he's in the afterlife, not hell, but afterlife. But yeah. All right. And you're unmuted again. As Nick's laughing.
Sorry, everybody. That moment of silence was me explaining to Nick the twist in Doom. Nick, go watch that cutscene on YouTube, you fucking idiot. Like, it's such a cool moment. Jesus Christ.
Pretty big. Right. That's a pretty big plot point.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
None of the cutscenes in that game are very long. Like, it's not the type one I would think you ever really need to skip.
It was like watching a comic book movie. Like that's the level of brain that needed to be engaged. It was not hard to understand what was going on.
Hey, Trev, Peppa Pig has another sibling.
Mm-hmm. That was big news.
Yeah, that did actually make breaking news in the UK.
I know. How do you think I heard about it? It was like in the news. Peppa Pig had a sibling.
Mummy Pig had another baby.
The other thing I think I mentioned at Doom, congrats to id Software. And this caused a bit of discussion. Everyone was like, well, the Steam CCU numbers for Doom aren't as good as the last Doom.
Oh, Doom.
It sucks. It's mid-game. It quickly put out those annoying headlines with, hey, it's the quickest new Dooms to hit the 3 million player mark 7 times faster than Doom Eternal.
But they didn't give sales.
Oh, the sales. I need the sales.
Even though Sony now looks at Mao.
Has for a year.
Don't say that. People get upset. All right.
I did see in the game business, Dring was saying, is it good? And his conclusion was, maybe. I was like, we don't know. Maybe it is. I don't think most of us should ever care. Like his thing obviously is caring because he's reporting on the game business, but the cheerleading that people do for and against. And it's like, when I like developers and I love seeing their games do well, cool.
Yeah, but outside of that, wasn't the vast majority of those 3 million on Xbox?
We don't know. According to Ampere, it was 66%-ish. So 2 million.
So 2 million.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But that would mean 1 million people buying it at $70 elsewhere, including anyone who
Where
bought it
were
on
the other-
Xbox.
Where were the other 28 million subscribed to Game Pass? Not trying out Doom.
That's the thing. That's the odd thing I find about like,
You have
The-
the sub.
yeah. But these are things that people come in and try over time, and they play at their own pace, right? That's why it's not for everyone. And Phil Spencer's comments
Yeah, I
about
guess so.
Game Pass isn't for every single type of gamer out there is very
Whoa,
true.
Shit, that was loud. Thank you, James Shields, for the Prime sub. Thank you very much.
Just Shields. Just Shields.
Oh my God, super chat from Sherez.
Moment, Therese. Mao reminder: Starfield has 15 million players who played more than 50 hours. Starflop, though, same as Doomflop, I guess.
Yeah, with the rumors coming from Nate the Hate saying Starfield will be announced for PlayStation this year.
What?
Most would imagine if they do announce the next expansion, and then they'll just probably have like a little
Right.
PS5 at the end. But he's like, someone asked him, and he's like, yeah, it should probably be this year. He wasn't saying it like only I know this. He was responding to someone on Reset.
Yeah. I know. I
Um,
know. Like,
and then
I know I'm
everyone's
not,
like,
I
that
know
game
I'm
was
not
such
gonna
a
get my
flop.
flowers.
Like that game was not. It was
People
not
will
a flop.
apologize.
Starfield just was not. It was a successful game.
I don't know if people will apologize.
No, of course they won't.
Particularly one former Sony Santa Monica employee.
You don't
No.
have to apologize, James. It's a good jump scare for me.
Hey, it's all cool, and I expect Bethesda, because I just pushed an update out for Starfield. Like, there's a cool new creator mod thing that's like it's like you're calling in airdrops and stuff, and you're like
Mhm.
doing some crazy
Yeah,
shit.
and you
like,
you can get up to 2 gigs on a single download now. Like you can add a lot of stuff.
that's really cool. I wonder, whatever PS5 version gets announced, it's going to be announced with a second DLC, is my guess.
Yeah, and I imagine you'll see PS5 listed in the showcase, and people lose their minds.
Yeah, people will lose their minds, but it's good times. So yeah, only other couple of bits of Xbox centric news. Actually, there's just tons. Carrie Patel left Obsidian for
Got that
Netflix. So
bag.
if you don't know who Carrie Patel is, she was the game director for Avowed, which is a thoroughly enjoyable RPG that came out in February from Obsidian. Built on Unreal Engine 5, looked great, played great. Somewhat shallower in the elements that everyone wanted, in terms of it being more and more Bethesda-like, in terms of NPCs having a routine and doing stuff when you're not paying attention. But combat ruled in Avowed. I loved that shit. The combination of magic and swords and stuff, very nifty. But she's left. She's
And
gone and got that
guns.
bag from Netflix.
She's joining
Good
the
for her.
Oxenfree studio, who suffered layoffs not that long ago.
Yeah, Night Swimming. Is it Night Swim?
I don't know.
Something like that. It's
I
got
forget.
night in it.
Yeah,
But good for her. Go get your cash. 12 years at Obsidian, though.
in 12 years, almost all of it working on Aora with Pillars of Eternity 1, 2, and then Avowed. So
Yeah. Like, I get it. Like, after constantly being in just that world, maybe, yeah, okay, let's go
and
try something.
the main
there.
thing in the industry is pretty much you see people move around all the time because it's one of the main ways to get a pay raise. Like people are willing to pay you more to pull you away from somewhere than they generally are to keep you where you are. Just the way it ends up going.
I do want to call out in the chat, because I've just noticed I recognized the name and I was like, why do I know that? And thankfully Abdul helped me. I don't know how to pronounce this. Jabba Altara. I believe this is the account that's always holding Microsoft's feet to the fire for better representation in the Middle East and Asia, in terms of better translations and things like that. I know it's really hard to get those kinds of answers, and I know I've had some of those conversations with Microsoft about, like, why aren't you doing a better job of localization than you're a $1 trillion company, guys? Like, how comes these guys can do it better than you? They are aware. I don't know why it takes so long for them to fix this sort of stuff, but appreciate the work you do. Other bit of news, and this was another. This is what I mean.
Right when you left,
got a
all this shit
showcase.
started happening. God damn it, John.
What?
That day, this friggin' Warhammer show started
Yeah,
up, and
yeah.
you're like, I'm leaving the house. And then 20 minutes later, this starts popping up. I'm like, God damn it.
It was my missus' birthday. I had to go.
Oh yeah, this is good.
Yeah, like bear in mind, again, I say this. Just think about it. They have a showcase in like a week. Warhammer is exclusive. A remastered version of the original Space Marine 2. It's exclusive right now. We'll find out if that's going to last beyond the rest of this week.
This is the company that anything with Sega and Atlas, they always were the thing that pissed people off because at the showcase, it was only announced for Xbox and PC. And then a few days later, it got the PlayStation and Switch version.
Don't get me wrong. It was incredibly fun stoking some fires on Twitter, talking about how amazing it is that this is skipping PlayStation because fuck PlayStation.
Well, I've heard some theory on that. The theory on that is that the version that exists for PlayStation is the PS3 version.
PS3. It got it. I've got it on PS3 because it was free on PlayStation Plus. It was one of the earlier PlayStation Plus games.
So they would have to have done more work to rebuild it. I don't know how much more work. This is only a theory. This isn't my theory.
This is 99% just the PC version updated and then ported over.
Right.
PC.
So why can't they just port that? But I don't know. Maybe
it's going to be on PlayStation.
But what you're acting like the
I'm not. This is not my theory.
Yeah.
This is not my
There's
theory.
people who don't know game dev trying to figure out what reason could they have to not put it on PlayStation? Because they couldn't.
It is on PlayStation. They just haven't announced it yet.
Yeah, of course.
This will just be nothing more than one of those weird marketing things where there was a deal, not a deal, whatever it was, a deal in place where they can't mention other consoles yet.
That was how Sega and Atlas were doing it every time. Like every time Persona 3 Reload or any of the other ones came over, they wouldn't say PlayStation during the Xbox showcase. It would come out sometimes like 3 days later. So,
but that strikes me as odd as well, though, considering Microsoft, like Phil on our own show was like, yeah, you know, we had the discussion about putting PS5 logos in the show last year. We didn't. It was too late.
But that's what makes
you know why? Yeah, it's like an
older deal.
Yeah,
it's an older deal. It'll be like an older deal from, I don't know,
because they even talked about like last year it was too late to do it for the showcase, and it was really only in the developer direct we saw it the first time. So, but they signed this deal like 2-3 years ago when the game was starting up work.
Funny seeing all the replies to the tweets. What? Not on PS5? Enjoy your game flopping. Like, oh, this is so good.
The thing that cracks me up is the amount of noise a non-PS5 announce gets.
How
like,
dare you?
Like none of the journos in the industry are like, no Xbox, you know, none of them, but no PS5. What? And they act like it's the worst possible decision anyone could make ever. It cracks me up.
Amazing. It was amazing watching everyone fucking squirm in their little fucking undies. It was amazing.
Oh,
they were all just shitting their pants.
Oh.
That a game had the nerve not to be on PS5.
The audacity, that's the word you want.
The fucking gall.
Looking forward to you getting this, Oliver Darko. Have fun.
It's so funny. It was so good.
Yeah, it's probably coming to PlayStation. Let's be real.
It is, man. They just you watch in like a few days. They'll be like, "Oh, it's coming to PS5." Like, relax, man.
And then those same like diaper squirmers are going to be like,
"I hope it doesn't."
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I hope it doesn't, but it will be.
You know what will be happening next is another ad. We'll be right back.
Oh. This is XboxEra. We're an independent, community-funded publication focused on providing the best coverage and discussion of your favourite platform, Xbox. With best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and awesome merch, XboxEra.com is your destination for the best news, reviews, and features focused on what you care about. With shows like the Xbox Era podcast, headlines, and a whole heap of Patreon-exclusive content, we're proud to be an independent publication completely funded by you. If you value having an outlet truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support.
Hey, we're back.
Support us on Patreon, people. We love you.
Super chat from now. Eventually, hopefully, Haber will tell us how to pronounce his name. I'm going with the more classy sounding French
Like it.
spin.
I like it.
Haber Ultra. Thanks, but I'm the guy who always yaps for Asian games on Xbox and not localization. Wukong and FF Wen. Please tell Xbox to tweet about fantasy lo-fi.
Question, Nick.
Yep.
Before you talk about what you want to talk about, seeing as
Yep.
Javier brought it up.
Haber.
Wukong. If Wukong gets announced a year to the day for
Then it
Xbox,
looked like, and I said that. I said if it's like a year to the day, then it looks like there was a marketing deal in place.
okay.
Well, not
money
even a
had
marketing. It some form
Just
of
a-
deal, like whatever it ends up being. Because I think
Yes,
that the
a year
wording
to the day, a year to the day would be very dodgy.
Oh, Abdul says Jabir.
Jabir,
Jabir.
Jabir, Jabir,
Jabir.
We are so sorry. We are terrible
Jabba.
people.
Jabba,
Jabba old era.
Jabba, Jabba Ultra.
People always go after the
Oh,
Americans for pronunciations, but you
Oh,
guys
Abdul
are...
is right. Abdul is right.
Mhm.
Yes,
It's
Jabir.
Jabir. Okay, cool.
Jabir.
Thank you. Anyway, Nick, you're excited. Why are you excited?
Now, you know what the best part about this? What's it called?
I don't
Space
know, mate.
Marine
This
thing
is your deal.
skipping- The best part about the Space Marine thing skipping PlayStation was that it's straight off the back of something else Sega coming to Xbox, which is Virtua Fighter 5 Revo. Ooh, boy. Very excited because I got it on Steam, but of course I don't have a Steam capable.
Yeah, they gave us the
gaming
code on
device.
Steam when it came out there. So obviously we'll
okay.
get a code for it, and I will force Nick to
Yeah.
pretend he's going to review it at the very least.
Well, I usually review fighting games. Fatal
Let's see.
Fury was just a City of Wolves was just awkward timing for me.
Let's see.
Hopefully Virtua Fighter 5 Revo is different. Because man, boy do I love Virtua Fighter.
I believe
I'm
you
glad
call it
that-
the fighting simulator of fighting sims.
Well, no, it's the closest thing we have to a fighting sim. God, there was someone replying to me on Twitter getting all upset that I said it's the closest thing we have to a fighting. It's not a fighting sim. It's like, yeah, I know it's not an actual fighting sim. It's just the closest we're gonna get right now. And they released that. Did you see that video while we're talking about Virtua Fighter? They released a video on Virtua Fighter 6 and how that's going. I know it's not called Virtua Fighter 6, but it's Virtua Fighter 6. My God, like, and they say in this video, he's like, yes, we're trying to lean into Virtua Fighter's realism aspect. I'm like, yeah, because they're trying to be very realistic with Virtua Fighter. There's no flashiness about it. That's what I always loved about the series. But my God, if they can pull off in Virtua Fighter 6 what they appear to be going for, oh my God, like it looks like they're trying to achieve what has never been achieved before in a fighting game, which is creating the feel of an actual real Hollywood style choreographed fight, like where there's flow to it. Rather than, oh, I pressed punch and it's doing this, like actual real flow where there's constant flow of counters and hits and trips and this. It looks amazing. The only way I can think of that they can pull it off is, and they'd have to go a little bit away from what Virtua Fighter has done in the past, because Virtua Fighter has always been fairly simple in terms of button count, it's like 3 or 4. They'd have to go away from that slightly and utilize like 6 or so. The only thing I can think of is they probably will have like the trigger maybe is like a dedicated counter flow button where you have it held down and you can only have it held down for a certain amount of time, where when you've got that held down, everything you do is like a constant counter type move. That's the only way I reckon you could have pull off what it looks like they're going for with these fights. Because my God, it
does look good.
Oh my God, it looks unbelievable. Virtua Fighter 6.
Here's the actual fighting.
Looks unbelievable. It's just, look at that. Like, if they pulled that off, seriously, like, that would just be incredible.
It looks
They
nuts.
can do that. Oh,
Not actual gameplay.
yes, that's what I said. It's what that's sort of, I guess, their ambition. They're trying to probably pull off that style of fighting, which would just be ridiculous if they do that.
The thing is, I don't think anyone in the fighting community would be like, what do you mean I can't cancel this move or count this? You know, like the animation's too animate-y. Like they want their precision.
Virtua Fighter's always been tight. Virtua Fighter's always been tight.
But that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't
If they go for a system like that, wouldn't that level of animation be counterproductive to the kind of tightness that one would expect?
But
do you know what I mean? Like in terms of interrupting
it. That's why I said it all depends on how they're implementing it.
Fair.
So let's say somehow I fluked it and I guessed right what they were doing. Then obviously anyone playing is going to be under the understanding, well, that while you're holding that trigger, sorry mate, that's how it's going. Like you're not going to be able to cancel out of it.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
can't
shit,
like
'cause you're holding
cancel
down
a
that
punch
trigger.
once you've thrown it, can you?
You can fake it.
yeah.
But, oh my God, it just looks. I can't wait. And of course, let's be real, that'll come to Xbox. I mean, I was told it's coming to Xbox. And the fact that Virtua Fighter 5 Revo is coming, obviously means 6 will come too. And oh God, I can't wait. It's been so long since Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown on Xbox Live Arcade. Okay, a couple of super chats. Machine XP, platform dead. No one buys games. Game Pass isn't growing. No one wants Xbox games. Literally every single one of these things continues to be wrong. I mean, is Game Pass growing?
We don't know.
Yes, we
They
do.
won't tell us.
They've said it is in their financials, mostly on PC.
Okay. We don't know how much. It's
45% year over year.
how many millions?
Good old Collingwood. Nick, who would you like to fight in the community?
No one. He's a chicken man. He'd get snapped in half like most people.
Chicken man.
My wrists would probably break.
It would be a
If I
woman.
fought
Like he would want to probably do intergender MMA.
But
I'll take you out,
who would
epic
I
treasure.
like to fight? Who would I like to fight? Colt. He's shorter than me, I think. I'll fight Colt.
No, I thought he was tall.
No, I think he's
Yeah.
I think he's the same height because he's a little bit taller than me, and you're like 2 inches taller than me. So I'm gonna say
I'm a
about
bit
the
more
same
than 2
height.
inches taller than you.
Well, I'm 5'7" and you're 5'9", right?
I'm either 5'9" or 5'10". I'm never sure.
Okay. All right, you might be 3 inches.
One or the
taller
other.
than me.
I'm one or the other. But yeah.
Yeah.
Colt or Gaz.
And then Tim Dog shows up.
Gaz is a big softie. Bless him. It's a nice boy. It's a nice boy. It's all a front. Don't believe it. He's a nice boy.
Oh, good old Collingwood said I meant online.
Nope. Now you're gonna get Cole like bust down your door. You fucking what, mate?
I've already said it now. I'm already on the
Too
real
late.
life option.
Yeah. It'll be
Gonna
Paris.
start the beef.
Nick versus
Punch.
Paris. Paris is a very big man.
Yeah, Paris would demolish.
Oh.
I think Paris was in the military, so he would probably definitely.
Yeah.
Because,
He's a little taller than me.
Because I have such weak wrists, like I do a dedicated
Wanking kids.
exercise at the gym where I have the weight and I pull on.
Is that what you call it? Exercise at the gym when you're watching
No,
your streaming
literally.
services.
17.5 kilo weights to try
When
and
you're
build
web
up strength
browsing.
in my wrist, mate. If I was jerking off that much, I wouldn't need to do the exercise at the gym. Clearly, the fact that I have such weak wrists means I'm not doing it enough.
Well, yeah, either that or there's not much to jerk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ooh. We are an
This
18
works.
rated podcast, by the way.
All right, here we go.
It's
Here's what I was
working
going
at
for.
least.
Yeah. Boo. You need more of like a ooh hiss than a boo. Do you know what I mean? Like we need a third tier of crowd noise. All right. whoa. Calm down. Elsewhere in news, Microsoft kept it coming. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 is coming to PlayStation 5 in the summer with an enhanced edition.
Shocking news.
With PlayStation 5 Pro stuff, and everybody else that already has it is getting an enhanced version with new updates and optimizations across consoles.
They talked about it. They haven't said what it is. All they said was there's been optimization, and they use that word, but they have not said exactly what these updates will be. Wouldn't be surprised if we see them at the Xbox show. Maybe, who knows?
It'd be so funny if it was like, hey, yeah, we've added this the shield bash to combat now. So, like, all you people that gave it a 6, they took away the shield thing that we really liked. Now it's back. I doubt it. I'm sure that there was some of the criticism, like they removed a certain combat move from Hellblade 1 in Hellblade 2. It was like was it a shield? Like there was like a
it was a running attack, I thought. Was one of the main things people got mad about.
Yeah, I knew it was a combat move. I don't know if it was a shield.
And they gave Melina all the acting awards, and people got very mad. Should have been Final Fantasy.
Yeah, right.
Did they remove the fake punch?
They've added a fake punch feature. Like they should. Can you imagine Hellblade 2 fake punches exclusive feature for the
and the enemies are like,
oh man, we've lost it.
That's the dumbest.
Oh dear God!
If it was I'm not touching you, and you're just like 2 inches from them all the time.
Can't get mad.
Me and my brother used to do that to each other. We used to put each other's fingers in it. No physical contact. No physical.
Can't get mad.
Oh, not touching you. No fizzy.
Oh God.
Oh shit.
Right.
I go to the next one.
It's good news. I'm doing them all, mate. I'm doing them all. But yeah, congrats to everyone on PlayStation 5. You're going to be enjoying Hellblade 2.
Enjoying Xbox's games because you have none for yourselves, losers.
Orcs. Speaking of PlayStation games, though, Helldivers 2. I want to cheer for Helldivers 2 because this is a great game. Helldivers 2, according to the developers, is still averaging around 2.5 million players a week, which is super awesome and well-deserved. It's recently had a big update, taking the fight back to Super Earth and adding all sorts of crazy
And imagine how many more players they'd have if they were on Xbox too.
Xbox players would be all over that game. But interestingly, Arrowhead have said that their next game, they'll be, because of how well this has been successful, will be self-published or published.
Yeah, talked about this last week.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll partner. If they're smart, they reach out to Microsoft.
Heaven Jumpers.
Yeah. Hell Jumpers. Boom. Done.
Heaven Jumpers.
No, Hell Jumpers is Halo. They just do ODST.
Hell's in there with Helldivers, so it's too close.
Hell Jumpers is in
That's
Halo.
That's what I'm saying. So instead of Helldivers, they'd be Heaven Jumpers instead of Helldivers.
Nick's getting his inner name a game on.
Yeah. Elsewhere in PlayStation news, Neil Druckmann is working on a second unannounced game at Naughty Dog in more of a supervisory role. He said in an interview.
Yeah, great.
He's also ruining The Last of Us 1 because that game had an ambiguous ending where you're like, was Joel right to do what he did? And Neil just had to say what the answer was. It's like, didn't need to know that.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
Is that spoilers? Come on, it's been a long time since.
All he said was that there would have been an actual cure, which we know, which we already knew that.
We didn't know it.
Yes, we do.
They thought they could.
That was the whole reason they were operating on it.
No. Hang on. They wanted to make a cure, but there was no guarantee it would have succeeded.
Yeah.
And all Neil Druckmann has said publicly now is it would have, is his canon answer, I believe.
Ah, right. Okay.
So there's a slight, you're wrong and you're right. You know,
the ambiguity was one of the best parts of that story. You didn't know. Was Joel correct to do what he did
I
or not?
I was always under the impression that yes, Ellie was the cure. That's the impression I was under. And that, from my perspective, that was the whole point. Joel didn't give a fuck that she was the cure. He wanted to save her.
There was no guarantee that she was, and it meant she had to die no matter what to find out if she could be or not.
Maybe I should have watched the cutscenes more closely.
Yeah, I don't know why you're arguing with us on this game story.
There's a daddy long legs in here, and it's really pissing me off.
They're good.
Like, this is the wrong time of year for you, motherfucker.
But yeah, there
Like,
was
we
no
don't-
guarantee. They were hopeful, but it meant the whole, you know,
right.
she had to die to find out for sure.
Yeah.
You know why he's saying that? You know why he's saying that? Because
Why?
of the reaction to the show.
Yeah.
Because everyone's pissed off.
It's
About
funny,
the show.
actually.
So he's like, oh, it's okay. It was justified.
Yeah, my missus finally got round. Like, we finally got round to watching a couple of the episodes, and obviously I knew episode 2 this was going to happen. So I just sat there and I was like, and obviously, like when the shotgun goes off, like that first shotgun blast to the leg, she's like, like she was like, what? And then it proceeded. And I just sat there, and in the ending, she was like, well, that's killed any interest I had in this show.
Yeah. My wife
And I
doesn't
was
even really want to watch it anymore.
I was like, do you want me to tell you
She
that
has no interest.
the whole story now and why this is so divisive? She went, yeah, I don't care anymore. So I told her the whole, like, the divisiveness of Last of Us 2 and the two differing storylines, and basically that Ellie goes on a big plot of revenge, becomes a murder bot of epic proportions, and then at the end chooses not to do it. And yeah.
And Ellie
was like,
and
well-
Abby's essentially a different character in the game.
Yeah. Like, I was watching the show, and like all of
My
Abby's
wife
friends
has
are like,
zero interest in the show now. She just doesn't even care anymore.
yeah, and they're going to drag that out for another season.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
yeah.
like, so they're making, what is it, 3 seasons out of The Last of Us 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they only did 7 episodes, so I don't know. I think it's doing very well ratings wise. So
Secret Agent Man says she was only interested in Pedro Pascal. You're probably right. Who isn't?
You mean
nowadays?
secret agent, man?
Yeah. Yeah, secret. I just
Secret
saw
threw him off.
Secret was spelled wrong. It threw me. Secret.
agent, man. I'm like, don't you mean secret agent, man?
Yeah, I probably do. I'm very tired. In other PlayStation news, oh boy, more marathon info.
and we can make this too. There's marathon and Fairgames info.
Yeah, we'll do a double whammy of this wonderful stuff. Forbes is broken for me, man. This website does not load. It genuinely errors out.
Horrible.
It's so poor. It won't load. Like, I don't even know. I'm going to try loading it in a private tab. Nutshell. Paul Tassi did a piece about marathons kind of problems, shall we say. Talks a lot about Bungie's morale, launch worries, and changing plans. I've seen more over the last couple of hours about, I think Destin did a video as well, where they're talking about delaying marketing. They're talking about Sony and Bungie legal sorting through all the art theft and whether there's a cancel marketing now, and that might mean a delay. And I mean, it's just like, I'm sorry, like, I wish no ill to any developer that's poured, a couple of years of their life into this, but it is not going to
It's
succeed.
not looking good.
It's not looking good. Like, you can feel it in your bones, right?
When we say not looking good, people, clippers, we're not saying visually not looking good. We're talking about the situation of the game and its development.
Yeah,
not looking good.
I'm not wishing the game to fail. Like, Bungie is a studio I have great love for.
Might be your most paid studio.
If this fails, Bungie's
just
in
gone.
big trouble. Like, all that independence and all that shit that they
That's
apparently
pretty much
got in the
already
deal
gone. Yeah.
is gone.
Yeah.
The worst of it is that Pete Parsons and other senior leadership and management will just bail with a big golden parachute and carry on with their lives. And everyone else kind of gets wrapped up into other things.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good.
Wouldn't it be interesting to see an alternate timeline where Microsoft was like, "Oh, you guys want to make something as well as Halo? Cool, we'll let you do that."
Yeah. I
Be
mean,
an interesting timeline to see.
how would
where
the
Microsoft-
PS4, Xbox One gen have gone if Destiny was Xbox One?
Xbox exclusive?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, so how did Titanfall do? Did
Yeah.
okay. It did okay. It didn't like set the world on fire from a sales perspective, but it did okay. So who knows what Destiny could have done?
I think the biggest problem for me with Marathon more than anything else is like Bungie built great single player adventures
Yeah, I know.
and cool worlds, and they've not done that here. And that's the biggest. Like, if they could take a couple of extra years or 3,
I mean, Halo CE was a fluke, but still.
But that was, a lot of the reporting was they were like, this game needs PvE, and kept getting pushback from management about it. And that's why it is in the works. They're considering like all the things people want are things that would be incredibly far away.
Yeah.
Like the game coming out at launch is a bit more than what we saw in the beta, essentially.
So it's terribly rough for PlayStation as a publisher, because what have they got this year? They've got Ghosts of Yotai.
They got Death Stranding 2,
Death Stranding 2,
Lost Soul aside, Ghosts of Yotai. Like they'll have a fine year.
I mean, in terms of their big, this is one of their big studios, and it's
Death Stranding 2 is their biggest game this year. I mean,
Ghost of Yotai and Death Stranding 2 will probably be one. They'll be 1 and 2.
either or. I didn't say it's not going to do well. I'm talking about which one's the big.
Yeah, price-wise, probably Death Stranding is the most expensive one to make because of Kojima.
And it's the Kojima game, so that's the only reason I'm saying that's bigger than Ghost of Yotai. Because it's the Kojima game.
It is. It is.
And it's fine. Like their year's fine. Like their year as a publisher last year was fine. It's just the standard on what can be fine is always moves for them, but it doesn't move for others, which is why people will say they're having bad years. Like they're not. They're not having bad years.
Unless Xbox releases like 10 games and they're all AAA over-the-shoulder games, then Xbox has nothing.
Well, that was the thing that we talked about months ago, like after the Direct, and people were like, well, what? It was Alana Pierce to Ben Hansen was like, well, what can Xbox do to make it better? He's like, nothing. It's like, at that point, it's like, yeah, if that's your mindset, like if they can put out, he said they could put out 10 straight 10 out of 10s and it wouldn't be enough for me. And like the moment you think that way, then yeah, what's the point of talking
people
about
wonder
them?
why Microsoft are doing what they're doing. When you get that's the attitude of media that cover the industry, is it doesn't matter what they do. They're dead to me. It's like, well, fuck it.
That's why you have two options then. You have two options. You can do what they're doing now, which is go multiplat, or you can do what I said, I said and be assholes and give them no choice but to get an Xbox and just fucking make everything exclusive.
Yeah.
If we just buy all of you and make it all exclusive, then what are you going to do about it? Huh, bitch?
Well, Jeff Grubb went over like what is the strategy, and the strategy is, and we've seen more and more of it happening, get your stuff everywhere and then force your stuff everywhere, because you can then say to regulators, hey, all of our stuff's everywhere. You're opening up the App Store, you're opening up the Play Store, open up the PlayStation Store, open up the Switch Store. Let's have everyone's stuff everywhere. And that way they get their Game Pass and they get everything everywhere. That is their goal.
That's an interesting tactic. So is that
funny
Grubb
how
said
Apple
that?
though keeps like not giving a shit.
And they gave in. The moment Epic said the moment Epic threatened going to they were going to file, saying, "Hey, they're just leaving our app in limbo." Immediately, like after weeks of it not being approved, it was immediately approved.
I know, how funny was that? They submitted Fortnite, and Apple's like, "Yeah, no, fuck it, we're not going to reply to them."
We're just going to leave that in the queue.
Apple,
petty as fuck.
Well, it is their whole thing is allegedly, supposedly, the most malicious compliance imaginable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The bare minimum.
Mate. You want to talk
what's
about
that
a company
weaponized
still
incompetence?
in their heel era, mate? Apple are the worst.
Yeah.
Apple, they don't give a rat's ass.
Outside of one extraction-esque shooter that's not doing terribly well with Bungie's Marathon, certainly from what we're hearing from behind the scenes via Paul Tassi and Destin Ligari. The other game that made the headlines this week is Jade Raymond's Fairgames from
No.
Haven
We talked
Studio.
about that last week.
New
Oh,
stuff.
Jesse told me to wrap it in.
There's
This
new
is
stuff. So from the
Is it?
Sacred Symbols podcast, Colin Moriarty talking about, and I know people don't like him, but Inverset's like, he doesn't know anything. It's like, no, he obviously does. He knows people at PlayStation. Said the gameplay is essentially a mix of Fortnite and The Division, and it's very clunky, and people don't think it plays very well. That did the play test. That's what he had heard.
Oh, that's a great sign.
Yeah. So it's like when the gameplay part isn't great this far in, is rough and might be, you know, the reason why one of the 5 co-founders left, and they got rid of the dollar sign, so it's just Fairgames now. But it is essentially it's a PvE extraction shooter. When they are
that
literally
dollar sign is exclusive to Microsoft. MS.
MS. Yeah.
also missed it, but thank you Purple Tree Frog for the Purple Tree Frog for the Prime. And it's a second PvE extraction shooter. Like they literally have Marathon this year. Already in that genre. It's been a really weird thing. I get why they did the games as a service push. I just think they did it horribly. I don't think anyone they had one game they didn't think was going to do anything.
The
one game they put no faith in and barely any marketing was an enormous success. And then everything else since then has either been canceled or just looks terrible.
That's a bunch of money to cancel a lot of games.
Yeah. And that's why they talked about in their last quarterly. They're like, we've reined in, essentially they said they've reined in the spending of first party. That was a big thing because they want to get their margins up.
If the rumors, reports are true about Concord costing in total development, marketing, this, that, the other, 300 to 400 million.
That included the cost of buying the entire studio. So the actual game
That's what I'm saying.
been,
All the the reported cost.
It was more than doubled by buying the studio,
related to Concord. Then you combine all these other cancellations. Would that be in the vicinity of almost $1 billion?
Maybe. You never know.
Because they, reportedly or allegedly, supposedly, there was like 10 cancelled games or something. That has to be nearing the $1 billion mark, doesn't it?
You never know. It's very Ubisoft of them. Because Beyond Good and Evil 2 might end up costing $1 billion by the time it comes out. But if we're done with this story, we have 2 super chats from a grand benefactor.
2 super chats, yes, from Kevin S. Do you think PlayStation will survive 15 years? Of course they will. CD technology is why the PS1 was made. DVD made PS2, Blu-ray PS3. With physical dead, hardware is next. Microsoft is a software company first. Will Sony adapt to software only biz? Well, CD is not why the PS1 was made. Everyone knows the story. The PlayStation was supposed to be the Super Nintendo's SNES CD, like Sega had the Mega CD. That was supposed so Nintendo had a deal with Sony because Nintendo didn't want to make it themselves. Nintendo wanted Sony to make their Super Nintendo CD. And then at the very last second reneged on that deal and said, we're going to go with cartridge with the Nintendo 64. And Sony was like, you fucking for real? They're like, well, we've made this thing now. Let's just make it its own fully fledged console. And we have the PlayStation. It wasn't about... I know what you're saying, and what you're saying definitely applies to PS3.
PS2,
Again, I don't think PS2.
Oh no, PS2 was one of the most affordable. Like it was mostly a DVD player. Like its software sales weren't that great.
Yes,
compared to its sales.
The way and maybe it's just that I'm not interpreting his question correctly. I interpreted the question as saying PS2 was a vehicle for DVD. No, I don't think so.
Well, a lot of their success was tied to being a cheaper way to get that technology.
DVD player.
Yeah,
I think
DVD and Blu-ray.
DVD was. Yes, I think DVD was very largely responsible for a lot of the PS2's early sales, but I don't think the PS2 existed as
To
a
push
big-
DVD.
He's clarified.
as a
My
big
point is
push
Sony got
DVD.
into video games because they wanted to sell hardware, not to make games. You know, I think we saw that in especially with the PlayStation, they really did get into be the default hardware everyone buys, and then everyone else, you know, they get a cut of everything.
No, I know, but like to be fair, like Microsoft, they were publishing games prior to PlayStation.
Yeah, they had a lot of regional
As
publishing
Microsoft
deals.
were too.
Yeah, like they were very heavily regionally publishing things to get ports in different areas. As far as the in 15 years things go, I think so, but I don't think any, especially if things keep going this way in the EU and there is no walled gardens anymore, then no, I don't think any of them are super focused on making hardware anymore. They'll have
PlayStation. They'll
have their reference hardware, and it's like your PC has to have this, and then it can run our OS, which has our store. Like the main way all these things would keep working, especially as everything becomes more PC, like they already are essentially. Like I think that would be the far future of gaming.
PlayStation will definitely survive 15 years. Their brand is too strong not to.
It's the default console. Like I think it's never going to be a world where PlayStation as a brand doesn't exist. I don't think.
Yeah,
And
Joe
it's
Sinister though. In another better universe, PlayStation never existed, and Nintendo versus Sega continued. And that's where I'd love to see I'd love to have the power to see alternate timelines. Like I'd love
Your
to
dark
see
matter.
a world where, yeah, I'd love to see a world where Nintendo didn't fuck over Sony, which means PlayStation just never existed, which then means maybe Sega is still around and Xbox doesn't get in, because if Sony doesn't get in, Microsoft doesn't get in. So all of a sudden, here we are 30, 40 years later, and we'd still be Nintendo Sega.
How much dumb hardware would
What a
Sega
world.
have made by then? It would be the dumbest,
Sega would have
craziest
made
shit.
amazing consoles. They would have made amazing
Well, they would have made
consoles.
an amazing console and then a ridiculously bad one and then an amazing one like that, and then a ton of accessories for it that make no sense but are cool.
Would have been the best. Would have been the best. Just imagine it.
A lot of PlayStation, a lot of everyone's future is just how is their parent company. Like Sony as a parent company isn't in great shape. They really need PlayStation to keep carrying them, and eventually, if it gets too bad, who knows what ends up happening. But I think PlayStation itself made $31 billion in a year. Like they'll be around for a long time. It's just how is that going to be? No idea for anyone.
It's just funny, just how you create your own enemy. You know, Nintendo made their own enemy, and then Sony made their own enemy in Microsoft. When they said, "Oh, the PlayStation 2, it's a computer and it's going to take over the living room," and Bill Gates was like, "The fuck are you talking about?" Bill Gates was like, "What?"
Yeah, they called him on Epstein Island. He was like, "What? They're doing what?"
Yeah. Okay, there's another super chat from
S is
Kevin.
dropping
Yeah,
it's just like,
it's trying to get us to Gamescom almost.
yeah. Appreciate you.
Do you think Microsoft will drop Xbox branding on Game Pass to try to neutralize the service to compete more on PC and possibly get onto PlayStation? Potentially.
Well, they're
I don't see
shifting
that
to,
happening.
yeah, because they're shifting to calling it Xbox PC instead of Windows Store.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. They are calling it Xbox PC now, aren't they? Which is
Xbox
weird.
Game Publishing is the publisher,
Yeah,
right? You don't see
and it's the
EA going,
Xbox
"Better not
app.
call ourselves EA."
Yeah,
Like, why would they? You're only attaching.
No, I understand. I understand the logic because the Xbox name, I guess, isn't. You know,
it's
almost poison
shifting.
at this point.
No, it's really been shifting the last few months. I think, especially when it comes to Game Pass.
Is it though?
Yeah, yes.
I mean, the crazy thing is there's so much more coming for the second half of this year. That's what's crazy.
Buy Sega, and then rename it all Sega stuff. That's what I reckon.
The
Don't worry about the
Microsoft
games and
Dreamcast
stuff.
2.
Yep. Yep.
That'll do.
Rebrand everything Sega in Japan and get back in Japan and say, "Oh, look, the Dreamcast 2 is here," and then everyone in Japan's like, "Yeah."
I never mentioned it, but you know this little Christmas ornament from Hallmark that does the whole. It's like the original Xbox. Oh God, it's so dusty.
Yeah.
They're doing a 361 this year. I'm very excited. I'm going
They
to try
already
and
had
get
a
it.
361. I thought they already had.
No,
a
this was
361.
last year, in the 360 one of these that has like the full, you press the button.
That sounds terrible.
It does sound terrible.
Through the mic.
Yeah.
In person, it sounds terrible. Oh. Yeah, I'll leave it
And
over
then you
there.
have like a Dreamcast section on the Xbox store, and then you have a Model 3 arcade section on the Xbox store.
It's interesting. Lucius in the chat is saying on PlayStation, there's 0 Xbox logos anywhere. It's only ever Microsoft publishing. Even games published by Xbox Game Studios don't have the Xbox logo on PlayStation. Yeah, but do they say Xbox Game Studios?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Xbox
sure that splash screen comes up on
Sea of Thieves.
Yeah. Like the actual
swear
the
NRX
publishing just says that. Who wants a Dreamcast controller? That thing sucked. Broke.
When Dreamcast comes to NSO for Switch 2, I'm going to buy so many of those Dreamcast controllers. Oh my god. I've already got my GameCube one ordered. That's coming to me launch day. I'm going to get so many of those Dreamcast controllers, man. Bluetooth Dreamcast controllers.
Yeah, it's not on the store listing because the actual publishing deal is the Microsoft publishing thing. But splash screen said it.
Interesting. Anyways, elsewhere in news, PlayStation Stars is coming to a close as Sony evaluate new ways to evolve future.
PlayStation Stars is actually a good program.
It's closing, mate. It's over now, yeah.
I know, but it's actually like pretty damn good. Like,
so why are they closing it?
I have no idea. Like, I prefer it to Xbox Rewards.
Wow.
What?
Maybe people were using it too much and getting too much out
that'll
of
be
it?
one of your most controversial takes of all time.
I said I prefer it. I didn't say it's better, as in
just even preferring.
I'm just saying I prefer it.
Yeah, look, immediately JCTV. What? Microsoft Rewards is less generous than it used to be, but it is literally a thing you can just completely pay for like Game Pass every month with if you keep up with it. So maybe the Australian version sucks.
Much work to be able to get Game Pass every month for Xbox Rewards. Do you know how much work is involved? It's almost a job.
Nick is on drugs today. Yeah. So it might be really bad in Australia, but in North America and Europe, in the UK and stuff, it's very good.
Like, I'll buy V-Bucks or a game, and then I get a message from Xbox. Oh, wow, you got 2 rewards points. You're now 5% of the way towards a $5 gift card.
I tell you what, it's because do you use Edge on your phone, on your iPhone?
Sometimes.
You just Bing.
Because if you use Edge and you just do all the Bing reward shit, you can get.
That's what I'm saying. It's another job.
Yeah, Selva says in Australia it's awful.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's what I said.
On PlayStation, it doesn't take me long to build up credits at all with PlayStation Rewards. You know how many times I've gotten like $8 voucher, $5.
Nice.
And I barely even do anything on PlayStation, and I get more than I do on Xbox. It's way better here.
Yeah, and depending on the country you're in, Microsoft Rewards used to be insane. Now it's still pretty good. But
I always love this question. Dimebag in the chat. Wait, people use Bing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not like Google's any good. They're both bad on purpose.
Nick,
yes.
Well, what do people use Bing for?
Oh, Bing. Mate. To watch videos.
Switch to that videos tab. Oh, boy.
Well, that's the greatest video tab ever. That is the greatest video tab you'll ever see. Bing. That's right, Jimmy Cooks 25. Bing bang. Definitely bing bang. Bing bang boom.
I'm glad that this podcast is rated 18 plus. Whoa, wait, whoa. Chill out, bro.
Hey. Oh, sorry.
Hey,
all friends here.
Good old Collingwood and Grey Monad saying it's very good for them in Australia. They're able to pay for their Game Pass with it.
Nah, that's not true. Unless they do it as a full-time job. Yes,
I do it
as
every
a full-time job. You probably can do it.
It's not a full-time job. There's not enough for it to be a full-time job. It's just do searches.
PlayStation Rewards here is much better. Much, much better. And I like the little cool collectible, little cool things that you do. I like that. They're cool.
Anyways, in other news, SAG AFTRA, which is a union for actors, has filed an unfair labor practice filing against Epic over the AI Darth Vader in Fortnite.
Well, no,
This
it's
is the dumbest. This is the dumbest thing ever.
it's not.
I
They had
agree
a
with you on this,
contract.
Nick.
They had a
He's
contract.
dead.
They had a
He signed it.
contract.
He's dead, and he said it's okay.
He said it's
SAG
okay
SAG AFTRA.
before he died.
It doesn't matter. That's not what this is about. SAG AFTRA and Fortnite had a contract. Fortnite was part of the group that agreed they would give notice to the union if they were going to use AI voices in a video game. They didn't give that notice. That's what this is about. It's not about the using an AI voice. It's they went against the protocol they agreed with or agreed to
Hold on,
contractually.
So, well, hold on. Using AI voices, but we're SAG AFTRA talking about just like general AI voices.
Any AI
Because-
voice. That's
this
the
is
contract
James
they
Earl
signed.
Jones. This isn't just like some fake AI generated character voice thing. This is just using James Earl Jones, who was like, "Sweet, you want to use my voice
Doesn't matter.
for AI generated voice in the future? Go for it."
And it has nothing to do with this. That has nothing to do with what they filed. So I don't know why you keep bringing it up.
No, I know it doesn't have anything to do with it, but when they say using an AI voice, I
Without-
feel like SAG AFTRA probably meant as in just AI generated voices.
I think there's a point here that is like from Fortnite's point of view, they were like, well, we're working with Disney, and Disney have
Yeah.
a contract for a guy that's no longer alive who said we could use this voice, and the only way that it'll ever be used is using AI. So why would
Llama
we have to notify you for
Games.
that? I know what you're going to say. I'm just saying that's probably their position. And
Well, no, they just ignored the
SAG AFTRA
they
Llama
ignored
Games
the
are
thing
like,
they signed.
you should have told us you were going to do that. Why? You know, and their position would be, why? We're
Because
not
that is
hiring
literally the
other
entire
people.
contract.
I'm just saying, I understand why it's like, this is kind of weird. And I've also heard that a lot of the actors within that union are like, hey, like the deal that we've been offered is kind of good enough. Can we all get back to work now, please? Because all these other companies are starting to go elsewhere. They're starting to hire from other unions. Like, this is becoming now detrimental to us. Like, I understand fight the good fight, but
I was just
like,
about to say, yeah, I get it. You're fighting the good fight, but there's a point where you're just like,
you're dragging this out a bit, you know, like, I don't know. But yeah, I understand why people think it's kind of dumb because yeah, I'm like, he said it was okay. I understand that the contract says that they should have still said, hey, we're going to do this. And they didn't.
It's the entirety of the contract is just they had to give notice, and they
know,
didn't
but
give
like-
the notice. What
But it's
is
not a live actor that
There's
they've
not-
hired from the union.
doesn't
He's dead.
matter.
get it, I
The
get it,
contract
but-
is if you're going to use an AI voice actor, you must notify
let us
us.
know.
If you're
Yes,
using
okay.
any AI, you just have to let us know, and they ignored that. That is what it's all about. It's not anything to do with the voice used.
I know that
Yep,
you're just
I know. and
explaining it,
given
but
the
I'm going to label you as an
circumstances-
apologist for the evil empires of the world, man.
And like James Thompson, it's nothing about notifying his estate. It has nothing to do with the voice used. It was that a voice was used. It doesn't, none of the backstory around the voice matters at all. It's just any AI voice, you must notify us. It doesn't matter what
find
the
them and
AI
move
is.
on.
Hmm?
Find them and move on.
Well, no, it was a contract they signed. So they're filing an unfair labor practice
For the
So
dead.
just
with the
find them
National
and move
Labor
on.
Relations Board. It's not a fine type of thing.
Oh.
It's a breach of
know. Well,
Well,
contract.
they're not going to get. They're not going to get many. I don't think they're going to get many people on this side on this one.
Yeah.
Okay, who cares? It's
I
a thing with the
they will.
national.
I
It's a
think they
thing with
will.
the regulatory board, not the public.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's literally just so that the precedent is not set that they can just go ahead and do this whenever they want, because they signed a contract that said we won't do this, and then they did it. Doesn't matter why they did it or who they're using or any of that. We won't do A.
Man,
A year later,
wish
we've done A.
Microsoft was more like Epic and Apple.
No, you
They,
don't.
they face
Maybe the
far
games would
more
still be exclusive.
regulatory scrutiny than Apple. Although Apple now is finding out.
Yeah,
what
Apple's
it's
getting
like to
hit
be
everywhere and having to
successful.
change all the things they do. Google's facing being torn apart. Like, no, you don't want that.
Hey, politics tangent. Did you see that the old POTUS has said, oh, me and Tim Cook, that's it. iPhones have got to be made in America or it's a 50%. I think is it 25% tariff for those, and the EU now is a 50% tariff just because starting on June the 1st.
He's not even looking for a deal. He said
the thing is, like, it's not negotiating, it's bullying, right?
Mhm.
And I do want everybody that's being bullied to just be like, swivel, bro. Like,
Jaina.
oh, it's Japes. Anyways, last piece of kind of newsy news. This one was like a cool one. I think Deadline first got the scoop on this.
There was a rumor 2 weeks ago from a website that then pulled it. They were like, oh shit, we put it up for 2 hours. Now we pulled it down because we're not sure. But they were right.
Oh, they were right. Okay, well, Deadline then were next. But then Bandai Namco and A24 came out and confirmed it. Alex Garland is set to direct, and I believe help write to some degree, an Elden Ring movie for A24. He's a big fan of the game, like a big fan of Elden Ring as a game. So that's a good get. Like he's made written.
Didn't Alex Garland say he wasn't going to do movies anymore, or am I misremembering?
No, he just put one out called Warfare.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
I think he produced or helped.
Yeah, he was a part of it after he had done the other one about the news reporting for Civil War.
Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I really liked. Civil War was really
it was a good movie too, Civil War.
Elden Ring is an empty canvas.
Documentary.
Like, as far as who would be the protagonist and all that type of stuff, Elden Ring is a nice empty canvas in a way that I think Fallout can be.
It's the world.
So you've got this whole big thing. Are you going to do it while the Elden Lord and the Elden Ring was still a thing? Because the Elden Ring wasn't a physical object. It was all the people who ran this, essentially limbo, the lands between. There's a ton of lore there. It can be another thing George Martin focuses on instead of the Winds of Winter. So, because he's got like a cartoon he's working on now or something, because he just will not finish that book because he can't. He wrote himself in the corner.
That I was the first person to leak Elden Ring footage.
Mm-hmm. It's probably why we're not on the list for Night Rain as much as we want it to be.
Maybe.
Thanks, Nick. I wasn't on the list for Shadow of the Erdtree early access either. Nick.
My most liked tweet. Leaking Elden Ring footage.
Oh, Elden
and everyone was like, why does it look like a PS2 game?
We know how Games of Thrones ends. We know how Games of Thrones ends, Abdul. They had it on the show. It just people didn't like it.
Yeah.
It's being built up to better in the books. I'll put it that way. But he killed off people he really needs to finish the story correctly. So he's like, I don't know.
Shame. I think that's all the news, lads.
It is.
That's all of the news. I'm surprised we covered that much in such an efficient way, considering there were some tangents.
You ignored the community questions that I had marked ahead of time, but we'll just get to them later.
You marked two.
Yep, you ignored them both. I even said who it was, but it's too late now. We'll do it later.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll tell you what it is time for, though. It's time for a little bit of fun, a little bit of kicking back and relaxing as we duke it out. In what year, my dear?
No, it's not. The fuck you talking? You smoking crack? Look at the showrunner.
What year, my dear, is massive?
Why? Who did that?
Name a game?
Who did that? I did not do that. Yeah, it's Name a Game.
I didn't do it.
Wow. Who did that?
I didn't like that the whole time. What do you want from me? It's okay. It's Name a Game.
Fucking scumbags. God damn mother.
I never touched
God damn it. It was probably me, if I'm just being honest about it. Oops.
It would have been you. I never touched that.
Yeah, no, you guys are pretty lazy.
Bro.
There we go. Welcome.
That's right. It's time for Name a Game, not What Year, my dear. Nick and I are going to do battle as per usual for our incredible Patreons and all of their lovely
patrons.
Look, you guys are so sticklers for this. Just let it go, man.
No.
Let the occasional cock up go. Our Patreon community is awesome, though, and we love them a big lot. So big thank yous to everybody that supports us. If you want to be one of these awesome people and be up for a chance to have Nick or I act as your champion, during an episode.
Sounds like
of the
a
podcast.
Russian name. Nikolai.
Head to patreon.com/XboxEra. Nick, who are we playing for this week?
This week, I am playing for Skill and Panache, because that feels more related to
I just
me.
put the last letter for the first letter of the last name. I don't normally say their full names.
Yeah, and John is playing for Mackenzie A. I wonder if Mackenzie's...
We're moving on. All right, this week's category is E3 2007.
Oh my god.
Fucking hell, really?
One of the biggest years in gaming history. You should know these games. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but 2007 was when they came out. You're talking about announces in 2007?
E3.
That's
Most of these
different.
came out in
07
almost
games.
pretty much most of these came out in 2007.
Okay.
They're all big games. Jesus Christ. You fucking babies.
What is with the reverb, bro?
I'm a game show host.
I don't think they talk like that.
I mean, they should.
Play.
Are you Jackie
Well, they
Bryant?
should.
Let's play Bamboozled.
It's time
Wicked
for
Mango
Name a
Card.
Game.
Oh, dear God.
Answer the question.
Why are you
Chandler,
Jackie Bryant?
jackass. Virtual Fighter.
All right.
He's my
You've
main
been
Virtua Fighter.
bamboozled. I
Of
love
course,
that shit.
Jackie's your main.
So funny.
All right, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Let me go to desktop audio so they can hear when you.
Jackie Bryant, the GOAT.
Sure. Number one.
His hot sister,
Oh.
Sarah.
It's pretty long. I get it. You fucking creep. Number one. Incredible Enigma Warrior 2. Super Speed. Crystal Clear. Modified. Incredible Enigma Warrior 2. Super Speed. Crystal-Clear. Modified. Jackie Bryant.
Super Street Fighter 2. Super Street Fighter 2. Turbo.
John, you have the opportunity to steal.
I have no idea. Fucking Super Street.
It's Super.
I was just quoting him. I wasn't taking a guess.
Super
Thank you.
Puzzle Fighter 2. Turbo HD Remix. Nick was very close.
Yes. Fuck.
Rick got it. Got it. All right. This next one's really smart, and you guys are going to know it immediately. It is Final Fantasy XVI's main character. Dogs are this. Iron Man's MCU missiles.
What? Did you put that in the chat?
I did. Oh, I didn't hit enter. There you go. Final Fantasy XVI's main character.
Final Fantasy 16's main character.
Dogs are this. Iron Man's MCU missiles. 3 words. Abdul got it immediately.
What is FF16's main character called?
I
I was like,
on Iron Man's MCU missiles.
Gentlemen. Oh, and they'll blow up behind me as I'm looking like a douche. Jackie Bryant.
It's the Jericho. So.
oh, you didn't clear the buzzers. Nick's just given it to me by saying Jericho out loud.
Clive Barker's Jericho.
Correct. What? Wrong button.
Wait, did you buzz in to say that, or did Jesse not clear the buzzer?
Ow.
Oh,
Nick
okay.
buzzed?
in.
Jesus.
I buzzed in.
I hit the wrong button. The achievement unlocked. Nick got one right. Fuck, that was loud. Okay. All right. 1-0. Nick is in the lead. I got to say everything out loud because people who only listen want to know what's going on. It's 1-0 Nick after 2. Gentlemen.
Almost 2-0.
Yeah, you were very close. The next one is Assignment. Batman's Turf. Competing for.
Batman's Turf. Oh! Buzzing. I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing.
Hmm?
I'm buzzing.
There.
Project Gotham Racing 4.
Correct. How the fuck do you're like, oh, I don't know to that one, John.
I don't know, mate. I don't play
Nope, don't even. There. Oh, I gave you a point by mistake. Let me get rid of that. I hope you lose every game now that you're pretending that these are bad
It's
when
fine.
they're not.
It's fine. I'm not saying it's bad.
No, you're just giving like, what's that? I gotta say, by the way, I'm teasing a friend. Please don't cancel your Patreons.
Please don't cancel Patreon.
Really personally. I'm really sad and upset.
The next one's a short one. It is. One of your names, trying to impress a lady, dispenses. This cost Jonathan Majors his career.
What?
I have no idea.
It'll make perfect sense, even if it gets me canceled. One of your names, trying to impress a lady, dispenses.
Okay, the last word is assault.
This cost Jonathan Majors his career. It is not assault. Nope.
It's not assault. Okay.
No. So what are the specific acts he did during the assault?
Trying to impress a lady, one of your names. So it's either Nick or John. How many words is this game?
4. There are spaces to space them out.
Go on, Nick, get it. I have no idea.
Jesus Christ. Abdul got it again. Nick.
Stranglehold.
Full name.
John Woo's Stranglehold.
Full name. Dispenses.
John Woo. Shit, what's the third one?
Because it's not John Woo's, it's John Woo dispenses.
Okay, come on, let's talk about giving guesses.
You didn't even want to guess. You shut up.
I've got it.
Right,
It's
starting
easy.
the timer on Nick. 9.
Don't tell him.
7.
I thought it was John
6,
Woo's Stranglehold.
5. 4.
Okay, that's
3,
what I thought it was.
2.
I might be
1.
wrong. I've just
got
taken
the
a guess at the word
Game on
here.
disc. I've got the game on disc. John Woo's Stranglehold.
John Woo presents Stranglehold is my guess.
I'm as angry as you are, Nick. The game is called John Woo Presents Stranglehold. It's very Kojima of him. I'm sorry.
John Woo did present it. That was a good game.
God damn it. Look, Nick wants to yell at me over not getting everything right. It came back to bite him in the ass. What can I say? All right, gentlemen.
I'm basically 4-0.
The next one is 2 words. The dullness. John.
The darkness?
Correct.
I was going to say, is that the darkness?
God damn it. Why are you so close now? I hate it. Just poo-pooing over everything I did. I'll never forgive you. The next one. It's cleared. Foe fields, rumble fights. 4 words. I believe this was Activision published, if you're wondering.
Oh, shit.
Jackie Bryant.
Enemy Territory Quake Wars.
Thank God. Correct.
There you go. It's over.
All right, we got a few more. We'll get them out of the way real quick. We got 4 more. All right. First one of the 4 that are left as I clear the buzzer. Demon Portcullis. Nick met Gaz here. 2 words. John.
Hellgate, London.
Correct.
London.
Yeah. The next
Did
one.
the chat get that one?
For funsies.
Did chat get that one?
Yes. Abdul got it. Abdul's been on fire today. Him and Atreyu. I'm glad he made it through the poison swamp, Atreyu. The next one is
Atreyu.
F.E. fella. F.E. fella. You can see it in chat.
I know, I'm
F.E.
looking at it
fella.
in chat and I still don't get it.
Some science nerd. Oh, John, are you a science nerd?
Iron Man.
Correct.
Ah.
F.E.
It's the periodic symbol for iron. Fe.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
If John Sweets all
came
these,
out
I'm
in
going to have to give
08.
it to him.
The actual game came out in 08. But I assume they
It did.
revealed it
It
in
was
07.
announced at E3 07.
By Sega.
Gentlemen, there's
Good
two more.
publicity.
If John gets them both correct, I'm going to give him the win. First one up.
That's right.
Oh, I didn't change it in here. You got it in chat, though. It is not yet mapped, rapper destroyed by Lamar's. Well, Nick.
Uncharted Drake's Fortune.
Correct. Nick will win. And then the last one for pure old fun. Catholic get-together enforcement. 2 words. Catholic get-together enforcement. John.
Mass Effect.
Correct.
Oh, I knew he was going to do Mass Effect at some point. I was waiting for it.
That's a good one. That was a good one. Catholic get together. That was good.
Yeah, Mass. Yeah.
And congratulations with that last one winning. John Sick and Mechanic. I'm just kidding. Congrats to
Skill and
Special Nick.
panache.
Yeah, congrats, Skill and Panache. You have won a game code from Jesse's big purple hairy sack of video games. So reach out to him on Discord, or if you want to reach out to him privately for a different. No, just reach out to him on Discord or the forums. That's fine. That's fine. He'll give you a game. That's nice. We like that. Thank you, patrons, for all your support.
It's better than
you
what
guys
John
also-
will give our patrons.
Bryant wins again.
Nope. Turn off the reverb.
Excuse me.
I feel that because Nick played under a false name, a third party should now be introduced into the leaderboards, meaning that Nick didn't actually win. It was this
Jackie
other fella.
Bryant
It was this other
wins
fella that won.
again.
So,
I'm never going to use my real name again. It seems like that's the secret weapon to winning. Just don't use my real name.
random sports personality every week. Boom. Sorted. Champion.
Next week, watch how Terry Bogard performs.
Not great if it's like his sales.
Now, boys and girls, friends of all ages, it's time for community questions. If you are a long-term XboxEra patron, you will know that one of the many benefits that you get as being a part of the XboxEra Patreon community is a community question that you can ask us every week. Now, this week, someone has two because they were brutally and cruelly ignored last week.
Man, we really did not spend much time acknowledging the patrons just then, did we?
I'm literally mid.
No, you're going straight to
I'm
community
not
questions.
I'm
Like,
done.
it's such
I'm
a
done. I'm out.
brief...
I'm out.
It is such a brief, like...
Okay, so I cut him off. Good old Collingwood, we'd like to apologize for having missed your question last week, which is what John was going to talk about and apologizing because he cares so little about our patrons, so much about our patrons.
That's it. That's right.
He was in the
And I
middle of
would say-
apologizing, Nick, for your
and to-
awful behavior.
Yeah, and I apologize that Nick didn't care enough to let that apology be put out sincerely and genuinely by management. And I can only apologize again for his oversight. To the rest of our wonderful Patreon community, you guys are incredible. You've enabled so much this year. You've brought, along with our Kickstarter backers, you've brought Constables the card game to life. You sent us to Gamescom last year. You're sending us to STF this year. One of you snuck round and, gave me a cuddle. You are all amazing, and we love you a big lot. So thank you very much for supporting us. If you want to become an awesome person, like the rest of our Patreon community, head to patreon.com/XboxEra. I genuinely mean this. Even if you can only do like $3 a month, if
Coffee a month.
1,000
Coffee a
of the
month.
people that listen to this show, just 1,000 of them, did that every month, it would make an enormous difference between mild panic and this is going to be all right. Oh, maybe we can bring someone else in.
With how expensive coffee's becoming, it's less than a coffee a month.
Yeah, it's less than a coffee.
Although my slogan on my reviews has always been, if you can spare. Do I say less than a coffee? I can't remember. It's less than a coffee.
Great anecdote.
I understand that coffee's great, and it's tough to give up, but just one. That's all.
See,
Damn it,
Ray always
Rayoid,
in the
why?
chat. He's got the right idea. He's just to teach us a lesson. He's upping his tier on the Patreon. You consider us
Son of a
fucking taught, mate. We are.
you son of a gun.
Whoa, he's a bit like this, Nick. He's. Whoa, all right, Ray, calm down, mate.
Yeah. You think I want to give you more money?
Oh dear. And before we continue, one last thing. Salva in the chat just wanted to be acknowledged. Salva, we see you.
Hi. Hello.
Thanks for hanging out.
Nick
all right, let's dive into the.
From Melbourne,
Oh, there you go. He
No.
just wanted some
but he lives
acknowledgement.
I think he lives like quite a bit away from me though.
Let's dive into the community questions. Nick, who's first on the docket this week?
First community question. Omen. So, kind of funny the predictions for where gaming will be in 10 years. And it spawned a lot of interesting discussions. What's interesting is 10 years ago, they predicted that Nintendo would go multi-platform onto Xbox. Today, they're predicting that Sony will be releasing day one games on PC within 10 years. So my question is this. Do you think Sony and Nintendo will still have console exclusives in 2035?
I don't know, you might have to rejoin the show, Nick. Your mic just went to shit.
Why did it?
Yep, now it sounds all right.
That was
It
really
did.
weird.
It did. It just
It
wasn't
is,
picking your voice up for
everyone
some
else
reason.
said they can't hear you. That
Yeah.
was really strange. Honestly, these
Oh.
Apple products.
But yeah, so where would gaming be in 10
Sketchy.
years? Kind of funny thought. Nintendo multi-platform, Sony day and date on PC. Sony's already day and date on
sorry,
PC
I
on a
didn't-
lot of stuff. Live service. And within 5
I can't-
years, single player
I
would
can't
be.
believe that they've actually said they're predicting Sony will be releasing day one games in PC within 10 years. They've already done it this year. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
they're set to do it in September with Marathon. Like they're going to... Their live service stuff is already going to be day and date. So if they just mean
Now,
the
I'm-
big single players, yeah.
I'm going
5
to give them
years.
the benefit of the doubt, and they mean every release is going to be a day one PC release. That's
Sorry, everyone. I don't know
It's
what
all right,
happened.
mate. It's okay. It's fixed now. It's all okay. Yeah. I don't think we need to give them a decade. I think maybe 1 or 2 years, and that will probably be the case.
A little more. They need
day
to.
one?
They still need to ramp up their everything for getting it done.
I
in
don't
time.
think. I think Nintendo will. Nintendo will have console exclusives till the company goes under, if it ever
Yeah.
went under. Nintendo would rather go under than put their games.
Yeah, I
on.
don't think a lot of people realize like Nintendo's not trying to do what the other two do. Nintendo doesn't make anywhere near. Nintendo makes like a third of the money of PlayStation, and they're not trying to make that.
but way more profit.
Yeah, they just keep a lot more of it. Generally, they're not going to for the next few years. That happens every time they launch a new
And
platform.
now that they're ripping us all off, they're going to make even more.
That's right.
Now that they're totally scamming everyone.
And you're all going to enable it.
Yep. Okay.
Nick, if you wanted
Next
to know what you sounded like, Mort succinctly says Nick sounds like he's being drowned by a kangaroo in a flood. It was very weird.
Yeah, I saw that. Weird. It's a weird thing. I didn't do anything to my mic.
It's probably a StreamYard thing.
Very weird. Okay, sorry.
Not
Next
accepted.
question. It's Finn. Good evening / morning, gentlemen. Hope your weekend is well. If I were in a company position and I'd be presented 2 options, share data and feedback to analyst or keep it to yourself knowing the other side will bend and twist it, my answer, keep it. Okay. But not a shock that Xbox is taking over the PlayStation Store. Not even a shock that Xbox is making more revenue and profit, giving choice on where to play. And heaven forbid me saying Xbox is doing better
More.
than PlayStation on their first party output, because golly, that'll bring out the ghouls out to walk and talk or squawk bullshit nonsense. You'll know where this heads, but I'll stop. Simple question. Why bother spewing misinformation of Xbox when you know for a fact your platform is lacking that content that you hunger? You already know the answer, but I've gotten tired of it at this point. Cheers and have a good day.
Grifter's gonna
Yeah.
grift.
I'm not quite sure what that question was, sorry.
Is effectively like why do some folks spew the kind of like misinformation and rhetoric and the grifty type headlines and clickbait. Like what was IGN's the other day? Like blah 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 blah.
Adamfall was profitable at launch despite having tons of free players on Game Pass.
That was one. There was another one where like the Activision FTC have given up. Like they've that's it. It's all done now. Microsoft have fired 2,500 people this year. And it's like
FTC drops Activision acquisition after they fired 2,500 people.
There's always got to be a negative when there's an Xbox headline involved. There's always got to be a little...
Microsoft are still seen as the bad guys, everyone. I don't know how many times I have to say it.
Nick,
yeah, we know.
Microsoft
I'm just
are
saying
the
that's
bad
what
guys.
he's talking about. Yeah, they are.
Microsoft are the bad guys.
No, I know. They're all bad. All those companies are bad guys.
But that's the thing. They all suck. But they get it way worse, which is fine.
In the context of the video game space and how certain companies are viewed, Microsoft are the bad guys. They always have been, which is why I keep saying lean into it and be the bad guys.
They used to
get something out of it.
It screwed them.
At least your customers will get something out of it then.
We're getting plenty out of it now. What are you talking about?
Whatever.
A game being exclusive isn't good for a customer. It's good for a console warrior. By the way, you can order Console Warrior right now. The Console Wars, the card game, available on Amazon in the UK and the EU, as both John and Nick reach for theirs. Mine's already here. Mine's open, so it doesn't shine. There you go. In case you guys are interested. It's a very fun game. There, I'm contractually done.
Next question is from what appears to be a new patron. Joseph.
Just say Joseph.
WH.
One White House. He works there.
Okay. Hi all. I started gaming in my late teens, and I was a PC gamer for years. I since started playing on all platforms, but PC and Xbox are the ones I play the most. Thanks, Game Pass. The first game that really hooked me was XCOM, Terror from the Deep. Here comes a question for you guys. What was that first game for you? In gaming? Just getting me into gaming?
The thing that really hooked you and made you want to be a part of it is John's muted and he doesn't want us to mention it.
Yeah, there's two answers here. There's the first game you ever played, but what was the one that first, like, this is my whole life and I love this game?
Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap.
Nice.
On Master System.
The first thing I remember playing is that terrible Kung Fu game. Was it called Karate? It controlled like shit.
I thought it was called Kung Fu.
Yeah, Kung Fu.
NES.
It controlled like shit on the Nintendo. Yeah. And we had to blow into it all the time and try and clean it to try and make it work. That was the first thing I remember playing. The things that really hooked me were early Sega stuff. Like, I guess Sonic to a point just because the music was so good. Like the early Sega stuff is what really hooked me on gaming. I was never that into Nintendo's shitty fare.
Oh, yeah.
I did like Super Metroid.
My first games would probably be David Braben's Elite on the BBC Micro and Repton. Repton.
Isn't that guy old?
Oh, we're saying both. We're saying first game as well.
Yeah. Well, but we're saying both.
My first game was Pong.
My
my great uncle had the TV with the built-in paddles.
We had a
super old TV.
I found an Atari in our basement. I had no idea we had it, but they probably had it for a long ass time before I was born.
But if I have to think of a game that actually hooked me and that I was borderline,
what game was your crack?
Wonder Boy 3 was the game.
I'll give you guys a guess. What do you think it's going to be? I'll give you a clue. It's a very popular, well-known classic franchise.
Tetris.
Nope.
Oh.
Doom.
Nope. Command and Conquer.
Okay.
Yeah, who'd have thunk it? I don't really play RTSs anymore, but back in the day, boys and girls. Yeah.
You know what? I'd probably put Streets of Rage 2 as like one of the first things that really hooked me as a mix of gameplay, graphics, and music. Just
No. Wonder Boy 3, mate. My Metroidvania, my love for Metroidvania started right there. Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap. What a game.
GDI,
I'm a mouse,
and
then you become a dragon, and then you become a fish soldier, and then God, that game was good. And then the remake was incredible by Lizard Cube.
Super chat.
Rayoid with the super chat. I sent 10 gifted Patreons. Not sure how to post the link. Lol. Thanks, Rayoid.
Ray,
Ray?
DM me the link on if you're on Patreon. DM me the link. Otherwise, you can DM us on through Patreon itself, and we'll get that link in chat for people.
Love Rayoid.
Wow, right, Oid.
Come on, stupid iPhone. Hey.
Wow.
I would say DM me on Twitter, but that is always broken lately. Twitter's just been broken
Next
all the
question.
time.
I'm not doing it. We've got too many objections. I lied.
Hytham G. So let's, if there's a Doom movie, and no, not the one with Dwayne the Rock Tooth Fairy Johnson, along with Carl Urban, although they're good actors, along with the Doom Annihilation. But I'm talking about a more faithful and more source material movie of a Doom movie. But which director you gents choose to direct that movie, an actor to play Doomslayer? But if I had to pick an actor to play him, it'd be John Cena. But for a director, that's up to gents. But your gents' personal pick anyway?
Gents.
You know, to give you an idea of how old I am, I still remember being in grade 2. But my memory could be fading because I'm very old. I remember there was a rumor of a Doom movie back then, back when I was in like grade 2 or 3 or something, and it was rumored to have Arnold Schwarzenegger in it.
Wow.
In the Doom movie.
I would take.
That would be cool.
What's his name? He was General Zod in the new Superman. Like, not the new Superman.
Oh, yeah, Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon as the Doom guy. Because I feel like he's got the good face for it. And he can be quite a good actor.
Yeah.
Like, he's quite surly.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
So I'd take Michael Shannon as Doom guy, and I would put the directing chops into the hands of. I want dark and serious and horrifically gory. So it's got to be R-rated, but it's got to have a bit of fun and action and nods to fans in it.
Ryan Coogler.
I would go with. I'd go with the guy. Who? What is he? Come on, Nick. He's one of your favorite directors. He did Top Gun Maverick.
Kaczynski.
Yeah, I think he'd do a good job. Or the guys, Chad Stelzinski, whatever his name is, guy who did John Wick.
Yeah,
the stunts in Doom would need to be awesome, right? So
the director of John Wick would probably be a good director for Doom, or the director of Deadpool.
And I'm with more.
Director Deadpool.
Anna de Armas as it's David Leitch. Anna de Armas as the Doom guy.
No, Tim Miller. Tim Miller.
Oh, first Deadpool. Yeah, he hasn't really. Yep. That new. He put Mr. Beast in Love, Death, and Robots, and no one's watching it. It's like the worst review.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's like we brought Mr. Beast in to get the kids, and the ratings tanked, and the scores on IMDb are terrible. It's like, yeah.
Yikes. NRX with a great shout. Alan Richardson would also play BJ Blazkowicz in a Wolfenstein movie. That would be a great fit.
Yeah,
it would be so good.
That's a very good fit.
I need that in my life.
Here's an option. How about this? A little bit slightly left field, not too left field.
I don't mind
as an
slightly
option to
left
direct
field.
Doom. James Mangold
Ooh.
to direct a Doom movie.
I don't think he would do it.
He directed Logan and Wolverine.
Maybe he would do it.
He could potentially do a good Doom if you look at Logan.
Like, extended question, which of the current Doom games would be the best one to convert directly into a movie?
Oh, because they're very different.
They're very different.
It's 2016.
Okay.
2016. To capture the more mainstream, as much mainstream audience as possible, 2016.
Well, but also the current trilogy they're all sequels to the original. Doom 1, Doom 2, and Doom 64. I know that they...
What about Doom 3? Is it a sequel to Doom 3?
I don't think so. Doom 3 wasn't the same guy. It's the Space Marine, the Doom Marine from Doom 1, Doom 2, and then Doom 64, he gets there as a portal, ends up in hell, and then from there ends up into a alternate reality Earth, and that's why it's going back in time and everything's different. It's all confusing, and it's cool lore,
Okay.
but they probably drop all that and just make their own thing.
I need to play Doom 3 again and refresh my memory on it.
It reminds me a lot of the 2005 movie in some ways because it's all more humans doing bad experiments. Oh shit, things have.
I've never
gone
played
crazy.
64, Doom 64. It's allegedly very good.
Yeah, you own it or access to it through Doom 1 plus 2.
I haven't played it. But yeah, Mangold. I reckon he'd be an okay director for it. I think I just love Logan. I think Logan is just one of the best comic book movies ever made. It's brilliant.
No Madam Web.
I mean, yeah, it's no Madam Web and it's no fucking Morbius.
It's not.
but
Nothing's
still.
close to Morbius.
No, Morbius is probably the greatest movie ever made.
No, it's one of the worst. It's just an amazing thing to watch because it's so stupid. Like, it's incredible how bad that movie is.
Morbid.
And like, they're trying so hard. Like, the actors are really trying. Like, it's got the Bix from Andor in it, giving it her all. It's got Matt Smith, who's a great actor, trying his best. And the guy, man, it's just fucking awful in every respect. Madam Web is a little more boring. Madam Web is a train wreck, and you're like, how the hell? With Morbius, you see a ton of talent. It can look amazing. Like, it's a really pretty movie. Madam Web is like a, how did this happen? Morbius is like they messed this up.
Craven. I need to see Craven as well. Super chat, Rayoid. I think I sent it. Lol.
Let me see.
Okay.
Direct message. There's one from one Rayoid. Go make a free account over on patreon.com/XboxEra because you'll need it to use one of these gifted Patreon memberships in chat.
10 of them.
Right there.
10.
Nice.
Boop, boop, boop.
10
In both chats
gifted
right now. It
Patreon
is
memberships.
a month of access on the contributor tier.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much,
Madam Web
Ray.
has a scene.
That is
Madam Web has a scene where
crazy.
Sydney Sweeney is dancing on a table listening to Britney Spears' Toxic.
It's still not worth it.
Boy.
Thank you,
Are
Ray.
you sure about that?
That is legendary. Thank you, Ray.
Is she like semi-naked at least?
No. They're playing young. They're playing like teenagers, even though none of them look like teenagers. But they also never get in their Spider-Woman suits. You see a dream sequence of the main bad guy seeing how cool they're going to be in the future, but they never actually wear them in the movie. It's really stupid. It's terrible.
Okay.
We should do
Next
so.
question.
I don't know when, but John and I do owe the community a couple of movie commentaries. Maybe we'll make Madam Web one of them. We won't.
I'm down.
Okay, we will. I haven't watched the whole
I
thing.
haven't seen it. So
I've watched most of it, not all of it.
Good
Next
old
question.
Colin.
Well, you actually want to do it this week, Nick?
I don't understand what you're talking about. Where did I miss it last week?
We didn't do his question last week. It's probably my fault because I didn't screenshot it.
I was about to say, did you screenshot it and put it in the... Because I was
I
just
don't know, I
following
deleted
whatever was in the thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So it was probably your fault and you've been blaming me all this time.
To answer Abdul 114's question,
I'm like
in chat,
Ron Burgundy. Whatever's on the prompter, I'm going to read out. If it's not on the prompter, I'm not going to read it.
who asked, "Thanks, I got the Patreon Rayoid. Can I send in Patreon questions now too for the whole next month that you've got? Obviously, keep the subscription up, and yes, you can. You can join. New patrons can join
Spare
the
a
Cool
coffee
Kids
a month,
Club.
Abdul, and stay in the Patreon, and you can ask me all the. I mean, I say me because that's a bit really. You're only going to ask me questions. You can ask me all the questions you want in community questions, mate.
But you can join the Cool Kids Club on our Discord, discord.gg/XboxEra, or our forums, forum.xboxera.com. There's secret Patreon lounge clubs in there where only you guys can access it. So, you know, do that.
And if you are already a member, you can go to patreon.com/XboxEra/gift and do what Ray did. And you can gift a month of a sub to however many people you want at whatever tier you want. You could gift a grand benefactor if you felt like it, because you're insane. Please.
Yeah.
Now, initially, that's fine. I mean, I know coffee is hard to skip. Just one a month is fine. But eventually, if you want, you can build up to that special tier where you and I can catch up. You just have to fly me over to wherever you are.
It's really cheap. Also, it'd be very funny if we forgot we were on good old Collingwood's question and didn't answer it.
Yeah, let's actually answer the question.
Have you ever had a heart in your mouth experience?
So is this like oh fuck, oh god, oh shit kind of
Yeah,
moment?
John's been having them nonstop in 2025.
Good old Collingwood, and you'd be well aware of this one, mate. My heart in my mouth moment was the 2023 grand final when I thought we were going to lose again, another grand final, and I was like shitting my pants when Charlie Cameron kicked that goal, and I'm like, man, I can't believe I'm going to watch another fucking lost grand final. I've already seen 3 of these fucking things, and I'm going to watch another one. Like, seriously? And then when we got in front immediately after, and I was like, oh, it was the best. We're going to win it again this year, by the way. I called it last year. We're going to win it again this year. Did you see that game yesterday? Like,
no.
Stop it. Stop
Why
doing
would
what
we
you
see
do to
the
other
game?
people's shows and
Collingwood's
doing all
fucking
AFL
losers,
shit.
man.
Pack
We're
it
just
in.
too fucking
Mine
good
would
this year.
also
We're missing
be
half our team.
and mine would also be a sports reference where the if you ever watched the NFL with the New England Patriots when they won in 2001 after blowing the lead and having things get tied, and everyone's like, all right, just take the ball and get into overtime, and instead they marched down the field and kicked a real long field goal. There was that one, and then there was another one. They were down 28-3, came back all the way, and then ended up winning right at the end in overtime. Like some of those Super Bowls they won before the owner completely destroyed the organization. Absolutely.
Well, I'm sorry to poop all over you guys. Oh, fun.
As far as
Sports
video
is
games
great.
go, it would be World of Warcraft killing Illidan the first time in whatever the heck that expansion was called, where you go to Outworld.
I got
Outland.
hit by a car.
Oh, really?
Did you deserve it?
When was that? When was that?
I would say I was 14 or 15 years old, and I was one of the posh kids. So I used to get the school coach to my secondary school, and I was late. And there's a road in the town where I live called Kents Hill Road, and it's kind of got this kind of like it's one of the main roads, and I ran out from behind a bus to make my coach, which was there. I was going to miss it, and I just ran out from behind a bus as a car was coming up next to the bus in the other lane. And the heart in mouth moment was me going, and apparently, according to my friends, I actually shouted this. I went, oh, like slow motion. Oh shit! Like as I hit, and I boshed my head on the curb, and I was kind of dazed for a bit. And I distinctly remember my older brother, who was in sixth form at the same school, so he would have been about 17 at the time. He just stood over me and went, "You prick!" And then that's it. He left. We have it. Yeah, I was fine.
John, I'm going to risk it. I'll probably have to chop this out of the podcast. Did it look like this?
I'm watching the show to see the footage you're showing.
It's from Twin Peaks season 3.
Oh,
I'm not showing the dead kid.
That was brutal. That's content warning. That was a bad call.
No, I didn't show him bloody on the ground and dead in the next scene. I pulled away from that. But that was Twin Peaks season 3. It's very fake looking. It's not like
you should have done. What you should have done was the scene from Meet Joe Black.
Movies are worse. I know, but movies ping you a lot faster than TV shows can do.
But it was definitely that split second was the most like I have fucked up I've probably felt ever. And I was fine, and I got the day off school. I was fine like after like 20 minutes of being like, whoa, that was the adrenaline wore off. I was a bit shaky. But I had no injuries. I have a pretty thick skull, so I just had a bump.
A boring story.
And, I got the day off school, and that was cool. The only other one that comes close is I got bottled once.
Really?
Yeah, man. That was
That's
like I wouldn't describe it as a heart and mouth because I was unconscious. For folks in the UK, there's a brand of wine over here, and it's particularly popular in Essex when I was a kid, called Lambrini. Don't know if you have it anywhere else in the world, but it's a proper big chonky wine bottle. Cheap as chips, popular with kids. And when I was a kid, I was a grunger, and there were the trendies, and the trendies didn't like the grungers. And this kid,
That's the most,
and I
that
know
is
who
the
he is.
most British thing I've ever heard.
This is what it was. It was just, I'm just giving you the teenage shit that was teenagers. But this kid from a completely different school, I've never met him. I didn't know him. I know his name. I know he did it. He never got in trouble for it. I did find out he got in a car crash after joyriding and like horrifically mangled his face. So I take some comfort in that. But I was the kind of group leader, and we were like 30 doors down from my house. And there was like a little like estate where we could all sit and smoke and all that sort of thing. And they all started like gathering outside, and we had like this little wall we could jump and a shortcut. And I was like, all right, we've got to get out of here, guys. Let's just head to mine. And we jumped the wall, and they were coming round. And I just remember hearing footsteps behind me, and then just a whack. And he hit me so hard with the bottle, it smashed a heavy wine bottle. And there was all glass in the back of my neck. I was unconscious. And then apparently, and I was told this later on, the same guy went to pick up the broken neck of the bottle that he'd hit me with and just stabbed me. I was unconscious, but some girl pulled him off me. I'd never met him in my life. I'd never talked to him, didn't know him, just because I liked Nirvana. Go figure. People are weird. And I remember getting up and like there was just blood everywhere, and I staggered back to my parents' front door, and my parents had gone out shopping, and my mate's like, what do we do? And then my parents miraculously like pulled up 10 seconds later, and then my mum, who was a nurse, she called an ambulance. And then I remember my older brother and my dad getting a crowbar and a wooden bat out of the garage, and they were just off down the road trying to find out like who done it. It was nuts, but yeah, it wouldn't call it a heart in my mouth moment. It was more of a random
Glass in your neck moment.
When I was 5 or 6, I fell from a balcony. Second story.
Fuck.
Balcony.
That's a heart in the mouth moment, surely? Or 6, maybe you didn't know that you were going to possibly break
I think I just bounced right up. You know, you're pretty soft and pliable at 6 years old. I just got back up.
I know.
It kind of
I don't think I ever
explains a few
told my
things.
mum. I don't think I ever told my mum it happened. So if she's watching right now, she'd be hearing about it for the first time. And I'm 45. I'm 45 next month. And this would be the first time my mum is hearing about the fact that I fell from the balcony when I was like 5 or 6 years old.
I'm sure Travis in chat remembers, but I've got 2. One, we were bouncing on a bed on the 3rd floor apartment in the house we lived in. I think our cousin was there, or a friend of the family, and we were just bouncing on a bed, and he had a nightstand next to it, and I bounced chin first right into the nightstand. Right there. Ooh. You can still see it if I don't have my beard. The other bad one was...
My son and my wife both have a scar there too.
It was
Both of them.
Getting out of a van that had a space in between the doors. And so sliding door, front door that closes, and there was a little gap. Pulling myself out, front door closed right on my fingers and cracked them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was in plaster of Paris for a while.
Door slam on the old fingers. Ooh,
Yeah.
Ouchie, ouch. Ouchie, ouch. Well, there you go, good old Collingwood. I think that was some suitably.
And he'll have another
linked
question we answer
tangents
later.
to your questions. Yeah.
Next question.
I've just seen the next question. Okay.
Next question. Jesse brother. Happy podcast 264, mi amor. Remember when I used to do that every week? I only stopped because I was getting sick of it, and my vocabulary was proving to be too limited to keep coming up with rhymes for every number ending. Speaking of getting sick, welcome back to Health Sick.
Barely.
My question this week is for you. After you alerted Jess that you felt ill,
Yeah, John.
why did you wait until close to last week's podcast started to finally tell him you would not be present? You had him panicking, and he had to pull a last-second save from one of the few friendly Canadians his country has left. We often joke that you hate your patrons, but why do you hate your co-workers? Nick, I understand. But Jess?
Yeah, you're right. I could have been more definitive, I think. I definitely gave like a decent amount of warning, like as well as I could, like, hey, I'm ill.
Well, I definitely I I definitely tried to get a more definitive answer out of you, and you're like, "We'll see."
You did.
And I was like,
You did. I think I was just desperately clinging to the fact that I'm like.
You
have a
wanted to be
research
on because you love our patrons so little. How much?
So yes,
Me.
it's almost the opposite, Trav. It's like I didn't want to let anyone down.
Why me? I'm the best fucking co-worker anyone could have.
So yeah, I apologise though. And I apologise that I won't be here next week. But
There is a word in there,
working.
Nick. That worker. It's like, no, you're not. You're not doing any work.
I'm the best co-worker you can have, mate. I'm selfless. I am selfless. As a co-worker.
I wouldn't know.
Utterly selfless. Well, that's right. If we get those patron numbers up, we'll find out.
We only need to
My son was
quadruple them,
sick.
and you're in.
Look at my son. My son was sick, and what was I doing? Writing an article,
Oh, you hate your son.
putting out a news bit
You hate your kids. So.
with my sick son, who had croup, and I'm there slaving away.
You're talking to me like,
Writing
oh
an
no,
article
I
about
sure hope he
Shinobi.
doesn't die.
Writing an article about Shinobi with a sick child.
It is true.
I fixed it up for you and got all the SEO stuff sorted. I woke
Yeah, I
up
don't know
in
how
the
to do
morning.
that. I don't know how to do
Sorted
that.
it all out for you, mate.
We'll teach you.
I said to Jesse, I'm like, go and look at it because I've probably done it wrong. So go and have a look.
I forgot. I've been a little busy, so I forgot.
There's been too much going on.
And guess what, John? It only gets way busier over the next month.
I know.
Like it's been nonstop for essentially what is 2 people and a bunch of volunteers, and it's only going to get worse, especially as the 2 people and one of those volunteers are off in LA. Thanks to all of you who contributed.
Yeah. That's going
I'll
to be an
be in
interesting
Queensland.
week on the site.
I really hope
Next
our hotel
question.
has good internet.
Yep.
Next question. Didact 3. Hello, beautiful panel.
Oh,
Now that
Hello.
Xbox got a big taste of money off PlayStation, I'm curious about how the flood of these Microsoft games will affect Sony's own games on the platform. Could this become a problem? Games are expensive as ever. So let's say the next Forza release is close to the next Gran Turismo. Could this affect sales of Gran Turismo? Microsoft could be evil and release their big games close to Sony's ones just to pressure them to release on more platforms sooner. Thoughts?
That's an interesting premise that I hadn't actually really
is.
considered.
Does Sony turn around and go, shit, do we really need to spend all this money on all these fucking games? Maybe we just make less games and let Microsoft keep releasing theirs on our console. No one's buying their console anymore. Maybe PlayStation just becomes an Xbox.
for anyone in the chat, while we're figuring this out, there's going to be one more gifted XboxEra Patreon membership thanks to SoundMage. Boop, boop, whoever
Thanks,
gets it
Sound
first.
Mage.
You got one right there. One more month you can claim. At the fan tier. Thank you, SoundMage.
Yeah, Sal.
Appreciate you.
Sony leaving the software market while Microsoft leaves the hardware market.
Hilarious. But I guess that would be your one console future, Nick, kind of.
Yeah.
Right? You get there in the
Oh, but
end.
then there's still Nintendo. There's still Nintendo.
You just emulate it on your Xbox.
Ripping us off with their bullshit. Bullshit. You seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
No.
Bullshit. You haven't seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
It's a shame it's
my
got Russell
God.
Brand in it, but
That's kind of why, because I was like, oh, I want to see it. And then it was, oh, it's got Russell Brand in it now, and it had been long enough.
like the musical side of the Dracula, the musical stuff is genuinely
Yeah, it's
fucking
good.
great. Like it's
I just think it's
genuinely
it's just a fantastic
Oh, yeah.
movie all around. It's so good.
I don't doubt it.
It's so good. Love it. Classic.
great.
But yes, it's an interesting question. Like, we already have Nintendo releasing all their big hits up against Horizon every time to try and fuck over Horizon. Maybe Microsoft could go, ooh, Gran Turismo 8's coming out. Hey guys, here comes Forza Horizon 6.
That would be so funny.
Be amazing.
Yeah, it's been
Hey, Rand.
millions added to the leaderboard on Forza Horizon 5 since it hit PlayStation, I think.
That's got to have
love it if they
over.
did that.
That's got to have over 50 million players.
I think it's
Or
approaching it. It's
45.
getting close to 50.
I'd love it if they
Wow.
did that. And then Sony's like, we're bringing back Killzone. And then Microsoft's like, Halo's coming to PlayStation.
You want them to be dicks. That is the future where they could be the ultimate pricks.
Let's see if Killzone's really a Halo killer now.
Hey guys, here's Ratchet and Clank. We're announcing a remaster of Banjo.
Banjo-Kazooie 3 is coming.
Oh man, that would be so
That'd
fucking
be
funny.
pretty funny. Sony's
Epic
like,
trolling.
that's it. We're bringing back Infamous. Crackdown 4 coming next year to PS5.
And everyone goes,
Mm.
oh.
And then everyone's like, Crackdown, the greatest franchise ever.
This one actually has a destruction.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
We bought the tech back.
That'd be so funny.
Only with the power of PlayStation.
John, there's a
Xbox
special.
version has no destruction.
We have someone famous in the chat saying hello.
Hello.
I said hi, Rand. Yeah, see that? I'm the only one that said hi. Yeah, exactly.
I said it in chat
Yeah, I said it with my voice.
because you
So
never stopped
matters
talking, and I didn't want to talk over you.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Have we answered that question?
Yes.
I mean, if Microsoft can't be the pricks that actually make them sell consoles, they may as well be the pricks that stop PlayStation from selling their games. That'll work.
Ultimate, that's the long play right now. That's the
That'll work
revenge.
as a substitute.
Yeah, I agree, Rand. But you're a patron, so it makes sense why he would hate you.
Hi, Rand. Love you.
Yeah, I love Rand.
Rand, my condolences on the cancellation of Wheel of Time.
Yeah, Wheel of Time cancelled after 3 seasons, eh?
Feel for you.
Apparently the show didn't follow the books closely enough, allegedly.
Well, early on it was
Kinda
very different, and yeah, but I know Ursula, who's a big Wheel of Time fan, really liked the last season. Felt it was hitting its stride.
Sad face. Sad face.
Yeah. That'd be funny. I'm just picturing this situation where Sony brings back all these IPs and then Microsoft just announces their pillars right next to them
It would be so funny as
Great.
fuck.
and just craters them and just absolutely craters them.
Oh, man.
Oh, that would be good. Okay, last question.
Last
Good old
question.
Collingwood. So, the Antstream collection of Activision games from last century is now available for Game Pass. Games, for the most part, are from the Atari 2600. So, what was your first game console? This was mine. Where's the rest of the thing, Jesse?
I had to scroll down. Oh, it's Pong. I didn't get in the whole screenshot because it was a
that's
GIF.
right. I remember there was a
Yep.
GIF there of Pong.
Yep.
Yes. It said your first game console.
Mhm.
So, and then he put Pong there.
Atari. He said
Oh,
Atari
okay.
2600, didn't he?
No.
Up top, he
that
said-
most of the games
Yeah.
from the collection are from the Atari 2600.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Pong was. So
My first personal game console that I had was a Sega Master System.
Hmm.
I still remember getting it. Still vividly remember walking home from school and my grandmother and my mum had surprised me with a Master System because my grandmother saw me like looking at one lovingly in a window. Like I was on Bridge Road in Richmond, in Melbourne, and there was a shop called Radio Rentals and they had a Sega Master System set up in the window. And I'm like, oh,
Baba,
look,
Baba.
yeah. Look, yeah, look. All in Greek, of course. I'm like, yeah, look. And then she must have gone, yeah, I'll buy that for him. And then I came home from school one day and there was the Master System waiting for me with Hang On running. And I was like, this is the greatest day of my life.
Oh.
The first console I ever played was an Atari 2600 that my cousin had. He used to bring it over to my grandma. Like my grandmother used to take me over to his house because he lived nearby, and I used to play his Atari. But my first console was a Master System.
Yeah, the first one I remember using was the NES, but I know we had things before then. They were just all in the basement by the time I was old enough to remember.
What about you, John?
It was a Commodore, but he's muted.
Mine was a BBC Micro.
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it was
The
followed
first
by
one
the
that you
Amiga.
had.
Yeah, that was. Well, define you. It was the console for me and my brothers. So I would classify that as ownership.
Your brothers, do they give a fuck when you get run over by a car?
my older brother was a strange fellow when I was growing up. He was a strange guy. But yeah, my follow up was the Amiga 600 Plus, and then from that in 64. Xbox.
My best mate had a Commodore 64. I remember playing Salamander and Ninja on that. Fucking Salamander was cool. Anyone old enough to remember Salamander on the Commodore 64? Fuck, that was cool.
I had a 486 as well, which was kind of like I can't remember if it was before or after the Pentium 2, but it was like
before.
Was it before? I think it was before.
Yeah.
But it was.
I remember having a 386. We had a Pentium. We had a 386, man.
Yeah, my dad used to work for IBM, so whenever he'd get a new rig, I'd get the old rig. So
Nice.
fond memories of a 28.8 kbps modem.
Yeah, I still remember playing the shitty PC port of Street Fighter on one of our earlier PCs that we had. Oh my god, the
Was it
PC
2?
version of Street Fighter 2 was terrible. Yeah, Street Fighter 2.
There's no good version of Street Fighter.
It was so bad. I was so excited to have Street Fighter at home because fucking it wasn't on Mega Drive yet. And then I played that PC version and oh my god, it was atrocious. So bad. But yeah. Good question.
Thank you very much, patrons, for all the excellent questions this week. A good crop of questions that promoted some excellent discussion.
And that's the end of the show,
It is. And a fun show it's been. A fun 3 hours of chit-chat all about those video games. As always, friendly reminder, if you are listening to the audio version right now, you can't hit the like button like everyone watching live on YouTube right now will do, but you can leave us a very kindly worded review on whatever podcast service you are listening to us on, be that Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon,
Kick,
whatever
Rumble,
it takes your fancy.
OnlyFans.
Send your constructive criticism to contact@xboxera.com.
We've got enough emails. We don't need more emails. But as always, if you love what we do, genuinely, if you love the amount of content that this very small, very passionate team are able to produce, which in some ways dwarfs some of the bigger Patreon and independent websites out there, consider
That make
supporting us
more in a
directly.
month than we would in 3.5 years on Patreon.
True story. Then consider supporting us directly. Head to patreon.com/XboxEra because we can't do it without you. We will be back for headlines on Tuesday. I believe Jesse will be back probably with that friendly Canadian fella on Thursday. And then the crew will be back for the Xbox Era podcast on Saturday. Sans me. I might try and dial in just to say hello if I'm awake. But we are working exhibition hours. So it's like 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. So I might just be dead. But I'll try. Yeah, that's it. If you're at the UK Games Expo next weekend, come and say hello. Come find me. Come buy Console Wars. It's out now on Amazon. And it's good. Windows Central gave it a 5 out of 5. Wow. Did not see that coming. They wrote a whole review and everything. I was like, what? Very cool. Thank you, Jen and Jess. That's it. Ciao for now. Catch you later.
Ciao for now.
Alrighty then. Picture this, if you will. 10 to 2 a.m. ex-Yogi DMT and a box of Krispy Kremes in my need-to-know pose just outside of Area 51. Contemplating the whole chosen people thingy, when just then a flame in stealth banana split the sky like one would hope but never really expect to see in a place like this. Cutting right, angled donuts on a dime, and stopping right at my Birkenstocks, and me yelping, holy fucking shit! 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 X-File being, looking like some kind of blue-green Jackie Chan, with Isabella Rossellini lips and breath that reeked of vanilla chick chomper. Did a slow-mo matrix descent out of the butt into the banana vessel, and hovered above my bug eyes, my gaping jaw, and my sweaty L. Ron Hubbard upper lip. And all I could think was, I hope Uncle Martin here doesn't notice that I pissed my fucking pants. So light in his way like an apparition that he had me crying out. Fuck me, it's gotta be the deadhead chemistry. The blotter got right on top of me, got me seeing E motherfucking T. And after calming me down with some orange slices and some fetal spooning, E.T. revealed to me his singular